didn't see any of these in October 2020.
Thank you.
Senior tax work-off program.
You rep.
I didn't see any of these in October 2020.
You rep.
Tax work-off program. Senior tax work-off program.
You rep.
I didn't see any of these in
You
October
rep.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program. Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program.
Those adjourn. Those in favor, vote so ordered. Okay. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in October 2020.
Thank you. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in October 2020.
Thank you.
Senior tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in
You
October
wrap up. You wrap up.
Tax work-off program. Senior tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program. Tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program. Tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program. Tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program. Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program.
Those adjourn. Those in favor, vote so ordered. Okay. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. You wrap up. 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 Thank you. You wrap up. You wrap up. You wrap up. Thank you. You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in October 2020.
Thank you.
Senior tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
You wrap up.
Tax work-off
Thank you.
program. Senior tax work-off program.
You wrap up.
I didn't see any of these in
You
October
wrap up.
2020.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program. Yes, Mr. Chairman, tax work-off program.
Those adjourn. Those in favor, vote so ordered.
All right, everybody, welcome welcome to another edition of Worcester Council Theater 3000. I'm Bryan O'Donnell. I'm here with Brendan Melican and our very special guest for this evening, Andrew Marsh. Andrew, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you.
All right. Yes, this is very much. I mean, it's not by popular demand in the way of like you guys made us do it. We were very, very keen to have Andrew on for a while. And we're very excited that you're here, Andrew. If anybody doesn't know, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. What your interest in Worcester politics is, and yeah, let's start there.
Okay, so I first moved into Worcester in October or November of 2022. I was fortunate enough to. Well, thank you, Epic Stratton. I was fortunate enough to, by sheer coincidence, move into then Councillor Atal Hajiai's district.
Mm-hmm.
And I moved into Worcester for two main reasons anyway. One, my new at the time employer was already based in Worcester, and so I would have loved to like actually live in the same city that I work in. The other is that like up until that point, for pretty much all my adult life, I had lived pretty much exclusively in rural red towns like Oxford, Webster, towns like that, and like I knew from being involved in state politics that like Worcester at the time, its state delegation was entirely Democratic, and so I thought I would be moving in. I thought I'd be moving into a city that had. I thought I would be moving into a city that had a much more progressive community. Boy, was I wrong. Welcome.
Yeah. So, as everybody knows, we know you from your many wonderful public comments here at City Council, but you've run for office as well.
Once in Oxford, in 2018, I tried running for a Board of Selectmen seat. I actually tried. I tried running against the then chairman of the Board of Selectmen. His name was Dennis LaMarche, and he was a perfectly nice guy. And at the time, I didn't really have anything like against him per se. I decided to run because I was wrapping up a term as chairman of the local cultural council in Oxford, and so like I thought this would be a great transition to make if I could jump into local elected office. And I did not take a single dime of donations, mostly so I could avoid filling out those financial forms.
Yeah. And you almost took him down, too. You almost knocked off an entrenched incumbent.
Yep. If I remember correctly, I believe the ratio of votes that turned out was like 50.8% for the incumbent, 42.4% for me, the rest being a combination of blanks and write-ins.
So, pretty good for your first run. And all this to say that what everybody here in the chat, I know, is hoping is that someday we see you on a Worcester ballot. And I got a feeling we're going to. I'm not trying to tip the scales, but I'm just saying we would all be very much in favor of that. And but if you do, I will say we got to get that killer instinct going. These guys, the mayor has to become your enemy. So we're gonna, so Andrew's gonna be with us for however long he wants tonight, however long he can. These things go long, so if you got to duck out at any time, pal, it's no big deal. But this should be starting soon and throughout the night. If you guys have questions for Andrew or you want his comments on any specific thing, please feel free to drop in the chat. You can see the chat over there on the side, right, Andrew?
Oh yes, I can see
great.
that.
All right, great. Bill is down at City Hall right now. He should be dialing in any minute. And then once the meeting is starting, he's going to make his way back here and jump back on from his home studio. So anything for you guys jumped out on the agenda for tonight that you're especially looking forward to seeing how things go, or are we just anticipating a lot of Gary?
A lot of Gary. I think it's another 2 years of just a lot of Gary.
Yeah. Yeah, which in a way I'm fine with.
It's a good placeholder. Not every season can be up for an Emmy.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yep. And Troubler 50, yes, I 200% support. I 200% support abolishing ICE.
There we go. Brennan and I have been talking about this, and obviously you guys are all talking about it amongst yourselves as well, but I think we need to be ready for a lot of activity in Worcester specifically coming up pretty soon. So looks like they're starting up now.
Welcome to the Worcester City Council meeting. If you can, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Star Spangled Banner.
I will drop the sound on that because that's fine. But yeah, they're gearing up big time, and I think Troubler, maybe you posted it on Instagram, that Libs of TikTok is starting to make noise about things going on in Worcester. So that's usually a prelude to a whole bunch of bullshit. So take care of yourselves, take care of your friends and neighbors. I think they're anticipating that Worcester is going to be a place that does not say much or do much, and I don't know, maybe we can change their mind about that a little bit. I would be very much in favor of them having to sing it live. Oh, they're going to do the pledge right after Plutonium. Don't worry. Are they talking about the TIFF tonight? They held that from last week, right?
I'm looking that up right now, Brian. I apologize.
No, you're good. I didn't look ahead of time either.
It's right at that moment when they're playing their recording that I'm always just hoping that somebody slid Bill's version in.
I know. I can't not hear it now.
Place just erupts into a big dance party.
There we go.
Councilor Bergman? Here. Councilor Bellotta? Here. Councilor Economo? Here. Councilor Solo? Here. Councilor King?
Here.
Councilor Mitra? Councilor Ojeda? Here. Councilor Rivera? Here. Councilor Rosen? Here. Councilor Toomey?
This is the one for 401, 409 Main Street, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is back up tonight.
2025 meeting.
Should be anyways.
Those in favor? Opposed? So
Jack,
ordered.
I've actually never played either Minecraft or Roblox.
Is that the hold 13B?
We also are going to have a redo of Mo's fantastic idea of having people over 60 join a work farm to
Bergman?
pay off their taxes.
Councilor Bellotta?
Right.
Yes. Councilor
That was a
Economo?
big hit.
Councilor Solo?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Yes.
Councilor Mitra? Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rosen?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yeah, I think that's what Bill was
Okay. we
down
have-
there for.
Okay, public participation. A person may speak no more than 2 minutes on any item appearing on the agenda.
Mr. Mayor, Rule 39, items of public interest. At every meeting of the City Council, under public participation portion of the agenda, the chair shall recognize any person seeking such recognition for the purpose of addressing the City Council on any eligible item on the agenda for the meeting, both in person and remotely. Any person who wishes to speak on more than one agenda item shall combine their testimony on all items with one appearance at the microphone. The time of speaking shall not exceed 2 minutes
Yeah,
for one speaker
I
and
think
30
so.
minutes for all speakers. Rule 40, petitions. On the first occasion, any petition appears on the City Council agenda, the primary petitioner shall address the City Council for no more
All right,
than
if
3
possible,
minutes.
can we bump the volume on
Subject to their petition.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Facebook just a little bit?
of course.
Just your name, city residence, and item number?
Fred Nathan, Worcester. My first item is 8J. The item about pedestrian crosswalk and signage at the intersections of Colburn and Bigelow Parkway.
Fredception. Oh, this is great. This is a great wrinkle.
If I show them the wrinkle.
At a subdivision.
Somebody please clip this.
Fred Nathan. All right, gang, let's split up.
Just on. Maybe. I think it's.
Yeah, it's clearly somebody unmuted.
Wait 10 seconds.
We wasted a couple of seconds. Could you bring
Yeah,
it back?
I'll wait 15 seconds before we turn the clock back on.
So
Reset
anyhow,
the shot clock.
going back to what I was saying, I actually brought something similar to this up 6 months ago, and I don't think it went anywhere.
Terrifying audio glitch.
But I was asking for the lights and
Fred looks shook.
crosswalks.
He's never heard his own voice.
He's never heard his voice.
Down at the bottom.
It's tough.
of the
It's tough.
Parkway in Lake Ave. I mean, hey. You
I told him they shouldn't have built City Hall on an ancient burial ground.
Down
They're asking for trouble.
Bigelow down there, because they do. In fact, it's so bad, they'll go down there, see the traffic so bad, they'll turn around, come back up the hill and go down Colburn. Something has to be done. People are too crazy out there. Items 9A, 10C, 90. I mean, hey, near a school, there should be always flashing lights. And as far as the dumping, about a 9C, I mean, heck, I would say charge them $2,000. They're caught dumping all the time. And as
You can also
far as
clip him
the,
saying dumping.
something has to be done, like I said. And even though you postponed it, 13B, I think it was. I mean, heck, if there is a company that is getting away and not paying proper wages, or they're cheating somebody, I mean, we're pro-business, but we're also pro-people. Something has to be done.
Since when?
Okay.
Wow.
Speaker, just name, city residence, and item number.
Hi, Martha Sefa in Worcester, 13B. I remember in 2018 when Mankiti got the TIF, I remember being really excited that they were going to come to our city and do really great things. But what I've noticed is that they take their time to do projects. And I also saw that when I lived in Washington, D.C. They sat on a lot of projects that did not change in Southeast D.C. So I am solidly opposed to them getting an additional
That's the city
TIF,
council fit, for sure.
Especially because I believe it's really important to use TIFs to attract new business, not to invest our dollars into projects that have already been funded before. So I hope you consider that today and use those dollars to support small businesses and other small developers.
This is
who really
amazing.
are the
Both of you
fabric
guys.
of our community.
This is,
Thank you.
that's great.
Thank you.
excuse me, Idella Hazard, City of Worcester. I agree wholeheartedly with both the speakers that spoke before me, and that's why I want to call attention to the City Council, the City Manager, and the Mayor to 9J, and I want to thank Councilor Mitra for putting that on the agenda, which requests the City Manager provide City Council with a report concerning how the Office of the City Manager processes, prioritizes, and keeps track of the numerous requests received by the office during City Council meetings in an effort to guide the City Council with best practices for making requests of the office. I often wondered about that, whether or not we were wasting our time standing before you, making these requests, giving our opinions, and taking our time out of our evening to come and speak before you. We have something to say, and we feel it's important. And we are paying your salary. We voted each and every one of you in, except for the city manager, who was appointed. So what we have to say, not only do we feel
Matt crushing it with the clips. Thank you.
very much important, whether or not you vote to agree with us or you vote to file it. So there should be a report at some point, how you prioritize and process what the public has to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to use my time for a question, so here it is. Can we have it back,
Millian
please?
Worcester and school committee member. I've talked with council many times over the years about this
Deep cut.
responsible
I love
development
it.
issues and want to make some brief points. We as a district and a city invest millions of dollars in vocational programs. The Chamber of Commerce, both when I was chair of the board and when Councilor Mitra was chair of the board, recognized workforce development as a #1 issue. There is no greater way to impact demand than impact our policies that surround development. That's why I remain a staunch supporter of apprenticeship requirements across all trades and all public construction, not just in the aggregate per project, local hiring goals, because these programs support jobs with living wages so that our residents can work and live in Worcester. One way to solve the issue is to hire signatory contractors for all public construction. Many more tradespeople become certified journeymen and women through signatory programs. Responsible development is workforce development. Why are we rushing? Let's wait for the report from the city manager and do the responsible thing as a council. Many of you signed a responsible development pledge. This is a time when that signature is supposed to mean something. In these times, in these very divisive days, when some of you participated in Martin Luther King programs this past weekend, you listened to Fred Taylor and others say that we have to show people that we stand with them. We're willing to take stands that protect them, including on worker rights issues, and also giving people the accountability they've asked for with the Civilian Review Board. Deny the TIF for Menkidi Group. Also, please uphold the work of the Board of Health and maintain policy around limiting the sale of tobacco projects. Thank you.
10A. Good evening. My name is Jahira Paulino. I lived in the city of Worcester for over 30 years. All of my children were born in Worcester. I purchased my first home here in Worcester. I've worked for both community health centers in Worcester and proudly coached Little League softball at Vernon Hill. I absolutely love this city and have always shown that love through my work, service, and investments. I'm here today regarding my ongoing journey to obtain a hookah license for Namasco Bar and Lounge. This journey began in August 2024 when I approached the building department and Department of Public Health to understand requirements. Unfortunately, I was sent from department to department and was never provided clear or consistent set of guidelines. Despite this, I acted in good faith and completed every step I was instructed to take. I invested several thousands of dollars in equipment and renovations following the direction of the city employees. Only after making these costly investments did I encounter repeated roadblocks, ultimately being told that a 500-foot ordinance prevented me from obtaining the license. I have met with multiple employees of the city, many whom have agreed that it is concerning that this issue arose after I made significant financial commitments based on the guidance I was given. I did everything right, yet I'm still unable to move forward. Because we're unable to offer hookah, we are actively losing business to establishments outside of the city. Customers regularly come in, ask if we offer hookah, and then leave shortly after learning we do not. For over a year, I've told customers to come back and check back with us while we work through the process, only to face the embarrassment of still not being able to offer what they want.
Hi,
This
Mokro.
has caused financial strain. We have had to reduce staff schedules, eliminate positions, and I now perform work that we once paid employees to do.
Thank you.
She's done a good job at Nemesco. That place is
Thank you for allowing me to speak.
real
My name is
nice.
Ellen Johi, and I've been an employee at
Great
Nemesco
spot.
for almost 3 years. I'm here tonight speaking as an employee who's someone whose livelihood depends on this place. This job is important to me because I rely on the income, like many of my coworkers. This is how I pay my bills and stay financially stable. Some members of our staff are parents and are supporting families as well. Decisions made about this business directly affect real people. Nemesco also plays a significant cultural role. It is the only African-owned restaurant and lounge in Worcester, and that matters. It's a space where people from different backgrounds come together and feel represented and enjoy each other's company. For many in our community, gathering in this way is part of our culture, and it's about connection, conversation, and togetherness. For our patrons, hookah is social and shared. It encourages people to sit and talk and engage with one another, and it's something our community generally enjoys. From an economic standpoint, Nemesco supports more than just the people on payroll. It provides jobs, supports the local DJs, security, vendors, and brings consistent activity into the city. When offerings are limited, the decline is real. Employees feel it immediately through reduced hours and less stability. I've invested nearly 3 years of my life here, emotionally and professionally. I care deeply about this place, the people I work with, and the community it serves. We would be more than happy to comply with all rules and health regulations and to make sure everyone who comes to Nemesco is safe and having a good time. All we are asking for is the opportunity to continue operating responsibly, to grow the city's economy, and to keep serving our community. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Good evening. Alex Guardiola, Worcester resident, president and CEO of the Guardiola Strategic Group, here to speak on item 10A, Council Rosen's recommendation that the Board of Health consider changing the 500-foot buffer zone restriction. Last fall, I represented a company who applied for one of the few remaining on-premise tobacco licenses here in the downtown core district. They are a women-owned, minority-owned establishment that has a rich culture, diverse clientele that reflects the growing diverse population of the city. They unfortunately were denied because of the current 500-foot restriction. As mentioned in that hearing by a dissenting member,
500 feet from
500
what?
feet is less than 1/10 of a mile, and its intention is not being satisfied, but rather hurting small businesses. When the company began their journey to apply for their license, they took all the correct steps. In reliance of the city's direction, they invested over $60,000 to outfit their location to just be denied because, to paraphrase the chair of the Board of Health, they are charged with promoting health and well-being of the residents, not economic development. To that, I take issue. Although we all agree the Board of Health has a duty to promote health in the city, it also has a second charge. It's charged with giving a license to a business, and that, councilors, is a duty to incorporate economic development. The fact that the majority of
I'm
the
having a
body,
really hard time getting on the same
dismissed it
side as
like it's not their
Alex
problem is
Guardiola.
shameful and a travesty to a city that has a downtown with empty storefronts up and down its main street. So, Mr. Manager, Mr. Mayor, City Councilors, I ask you to please help our small businesses. If the Board of Health does not want to discuss economic development at their hearings, then remove the power of overseeing tobacco licenses and put it with the License Commission, with the Standing Committee on Public Health Health and Human Services to make a recommendation for the whole
He wants to
council
take a
make
cool picture with
an
Mo
approval.
Bergman.
Learning that a previously approved ordinance does not currently work and making a change doesn't make our city administration look weak. It makes us look forward-thinking and business-friendly. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Yo, Hellraiser, I do believe the Wii U is underrated.
Chamber of Commerce, also a resident here in the Vernon Hill neighborhood. Again,
Good
I'm
call.
here tonight on the resolution. We
Never had a
discussed,
chance.
From our prior speakers of the real world impacts of this regulation, the 500-foot buffer. And it's produced
500 feet from what?
consequences that conflict with Worcester's economic development priorities, especially those surrounding an 18-hour downtown that we have, that we need, most importantly. Businesses, such as the one we heard, Nomesco, create, a mixed use of retail, a mixed use of dining, entertainment that attract residents, support establish, especially neighboring establishments,
thank you.
to keep our streets active and safe, which are essential to that 18-hour vision. However, when we have a long-standing operator such as Nomesco wanting to go in front of the board, and because there's licenses available, there's an inflexible geographic rule with this 500-foot rule. And what it's going to do, it's going to cause vacant storefronts, it's going to lose jobs. We already heard when I spoke at the Board of Health meeting, 18 jobs that was at this business. And unfortunately, they need to continue those 18 jobs, but this rule is not allowing that. So I implore the city council here to look
My
at
preference
this
would
rule
be
and report
that
on
if
it
you
and somehow we can change it.
offer hookah, then
Thank
you should have to serve shawarma also.
Seems like a good compromise.
I'm not saying that should be a hard and fast rule. I'm just saying if
Abby
we
Mortallaro,
are allowed to have
Worcester
preferences on
resident.
this.
I'll start with 9H. I think it's good to have a dialogue with the people of Worcester and have transparency in government and specifics, measurable, attainable, relevant, transparent. All right. So now moving along to hold on. 13B, no tips for big corporations. People first, profit second. People over profit. Okay. 14F, I think an Office of Housing Stability is important, to keep people, in their homes, preventing, homelessness. I think that is important. So we should have an Office of Housing Stability, yes. And 14I, the DOJ report, I think it's important accountability in government on all levels, and to have a civilian review board and to drop the charges on Ashley Spring and Ethel Ajid. They were doing good. They're good people, doing good. And, we need rule of law. We need to hold ICE accountable. And that's what they were doing. So, yes, civilian review board and, putting the people first, putting people of Worcester first. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Robert Harden, 2 Edwidge Street, Worcester. This is an ongoing issue I've had with the city for what will now be 21 years of snow removal. Mr. Mayor, Surveyor, I contacted you this past weekend. Over the last 21 years, I have had to almost constantly call DPW to have snow plowed from Edwidge Street, which also affects Longview, Rockwood, and Jeremiah. These are all dead-end streets with grades of 45 to 60 degrees. And at times,
60 degrees?
as most recently, plow might come through and just make one strip leading
It's almost
up
straight
on
down.
the side of the road. Other times, may not get until the next day after I've called. This has been a constant issue. In a few years, I'm going to have a sidewalk in front of my house finally with the Pleasant Street project. Social contract says I have to clear the sidewalk. If I don't clear it,
Not social contract.
If I do a poor job,
The law.
I will get fined. As of right now, I have no sidewalk, but I still clear storm drains and the fire hydrant in front of my house to ensure safety. Most recent couple storms ago, I posted a video online of the mail truck trying to get up the street and instead drifting off to the side. What if that's an ambulance? Well, a fire truck may not have that issue. Right now, we have contracts with plow drivers, if they're not DPW employees, correct? If we're paying for a service, I'm paying property taxes, I should not have to come here again or call again to have my street cleared, to be concerned about sliding into Pleasant Street, which always looks fantastic, by the way. So if I happen to slide into Pleasant Street because my street's not being cleared, is that my fault, the city's, or the plow drivers? Please pay attention to this issue. I would like to stop calling. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name's Gary Hunter. I'm in District 5. And first thing I want to do is go along with what Sue said and with 13B. I know it's on hold. And I think we should stick up for our workers and we should stick up with the Carpenters Union and don't pass that resolution, please. I won't go on and on about it, but I think that's only fair. Fair market, get people jobs. What I want to talk about is 9J, about getting the setup so that when they ask for reports for them to come back. And I'm looking at this agenda. This agenda is nothing on this agenda that's that important. Then compared to our world falling apart, all politics are local. Right now, we're talking about fire hydrants and not people. What happened on Minneapolis could have happened at Eureka Street, except some of the brave people that stood between the police and the young woman. We need a civilian review board that may help that situation. And we have not heard the final stuff for the DOJ. I see you every week. If you noticed, I usually say something and I stay till the end of the meeting and I listen to everybody. What do you actually pass? Everything is sent to committee. I, as a civilian, never hear back what happened in the committee. Sent to the administration. I, as a civilian, not hear back what happens with the reports. I would like a more open discussion and talk about the real issues of how homelessness. Please, DOJ report. Please consider opening your meetings.
Thank you.
And talk about real subjects. You have a lot of people, 200,000 people in this city that's counting on you.
Thank you. Our next speaker, please.
And
Thank you.
nothing's getting passed.
Hello, everyone. I'm speaking on 13B. My name is Art Cook, and I'm a carpenter steward and work all throughout Massachusetts. Responsible development requires commitment, sustained execution, and real accountability. It cannot be a roll of the dice, an occasional goal, or just words on paper. I ask you, on behalf of all the members of Local 336, please remain committed to responsible development and oppose the proposed tie for 401-409 Main Street. Mankitti and Bizzuto, who they are hiring for this project, are both from Washington, D.C.
The craziest
Why
thing
do we need to be bringing in contractors
is that this is a re-up
criminal
of the TIF.
contractors here to Worcester?
This isn't a new
Why are we
development.
going to use our tax dollars to do that? I don't want them bringing those lower standards to our community, and I don't want to give them any money. Thank you.
Thank you. Get your name and city residence.
Nathan Kufal, Millbury.
But then, yeah, there you go.
Speaking on 13B, I'm a union carpenter apprentice. I started very recently, but I wanted to talk about, I don't believe that we have to give McKinney this TIF. I don't see why, when they bought the building in 2018, how they haven't been able to get by with what they have. If they're a big corporation that is able to bring people from out of state, then I don't see where they don't have their own money to figure it out. Sorry.
That's okay.
I feel like a responsible environment would be just, I feel like we need to check up on them more and make sure we have responsible carpenters, responsible tradesmen, and just have more focus on what we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Patrick Kelly, 32-year resident of Worcester, Mass., Worcester native. I want to thank Mr. Mayor Petty, City Manager Bautista, and all council members for allowing me to share tonight. I'm here to urge you to deny the TIFs to the Mankitti Group, because awarding public subsidies requires public trust, and serious concerns exist about whether that standard's being met by them. TIFs are intended to support developers who provide clear public benefit while operating responsibly and ethically. When credible concerns are raised about how employees are being treated or how construction work is managed, those concerns cannot be brushed aside. They go directly to whether taxpayer dollars are being used wisely. There are documented concerns from workers and industry professionals that the Mankitti Group relies on subcontractors who are not properly qualified to perform complex construction work. That creates real risks: unsafe job sites, construction defects, project delays, and long-term maintenance issues. When those problems arise, it's not the developer who bears the cost. It's the workers, the residents, and ultimately the city. Equally troubling are concerns about labor practices. Public money should never subsidize projects where worker treatment, oversight, and safety standards are called into question. Cities across the country have learned that ignoring these warning signs lead to lawsuits, stalled projects, and financial losses. TIF funding is a privilege, not an entitlement. Until these concerns are independently reviewed and resolved, the Mankitti Group does not meet the standard required for public subsidy. Taxpayer dollars should reward responsibility, not underwrite risk. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Joe Del Gizzi. I am a resident of Worcester, District 5, have been for a couple decades now, and I'm speaking on 13B. I really want to say immediately, thank you for putting that on hold. I think this shows the council, this council is dedicated to responsible development and takes the serious, our concerns seriously, and the concerns of the citizens of Worcester. I just want to remind the council, if you don't mind, just saying that the Mankitti Group themselves and Bozzuto, who's down the street, have had a history of violating the public trust. They asked for a TIF. They brought on a contractor who was a contractor who should not have been on that job. If you look at the Washington, D.C. Lawyers Guild, they put out a public document a couple years ago on wage theft. Bozzuto and Mankitti feature prominently in that document. I urge you to look it up, Google it. These are two contractors, or a developer and a contractor from Washington, D.C., who come from an environment of using this as a business practice to cheat workers, to create a system in which money goes up rather than out. I know they say differently in their public promotion.
He held it under privilege, right?
We all have propaganda, obviously.
So then to hold it again, they'd have to get 4 votes on it unless somebody else held it under privilege.
This developer, we should hold them account, not just tonight, but going forward. I do thank you all for holding this item.
But I don't really know.
And I wish you all a great night.
Thank you.
Tom Marino, Worcester.
There he
I gotta
is.
say, some appreciation for some of Dr. Mitra's orders, which I can't say that I expected to say. Apparently, your colleagues haven't filled you in yet. SMART goals, 9H, that's not going to happen. That might lead to accountability and might begin to establish a system of checks and balances, which the majority of this council is absolutely ideologically opposed to.
Oh, yeah.
The rules, though. Let's not send one rule to the public safety, to municipal ops. Let's send the rules, and let's get a document that is actually going to be enforced. I mean, I pulled a rule out of the sky last week. I mean, when you're when you're citing that it was enforced 2 mayors ago, that was a long time ago. Let's get a document that is actually represents what's actually enforced here. Do something with Rule 9. If you're not going to allow residents to bring petitions other than things that go to traffic and parking, just put that in the rules. Let's not, put other people in the crossfire and let them take the blame for it. Crime stats. Could we ask for a closeout report anytime in the last 2 or 3 years? I don't know what staring at crime stats every year is going to do to inform anything about anything. A closeout rate, however, is actually a metric you can make some judgment about. And lastly, tabled item. We ever getting this report back on the DOJ report? Ever? I mean, you had 5,000 words come out 7 months ago on all the problems with it, on the campaign to undermine it, the Biden conspiracy to undermine the city of Worcester. Anybody going to take responsibility for anything ever?
My name is Frank Gomez. I'm a business rep for the Carpenters Union. I want to say thank you to the mayor, city manager, and the councilors for holding item 13B. Let this be an example, not only for this TIF, but many others coming up in front of the city. And thank you for holding the item to all the issues that are being raised tonight, are being solved and answered. Thank you.
Thank you.
It got held again tonight, right?
John
They're not gonna talk about it tonight.
I want to talk about 13B and 9O together. I think what you're seeing tonight, Mr. Chairman, is something that you mentioned during the campaign this year, which is that there's a different Worcester that you don't seem to understand about, where we talk about it all the time up at this podium, where it seems like there are a lot of secret deals, backroom conversations, when all we're asking for isn't that you vote differently. It's just that you talk about it openly instead of not telling us what's going on, because we
But
do
also
know
vote
what's
differently.
going on.
Vote differently.
In 9O, asked about enforcing this sign ordinance thing. The problem with that is that we just listened to the whole.
Frankly, I expect Jose to vote very differently.
Inspectors. So we're going to send inspectors out to inspect
Yeah.
signs for small businesses, windows facing the street.
I saw like half an hour ago or so, Douglas Rosalli was wondering if I was willing to tell us or tell everyone about any interactions I may have had with the new counselor. And while like I haven't interacted with them really face to face, I have had a couple of email back and forths with them as I've been giving my commentary on all the agenda items for the past couple weeks.
We have to have these conversations.
Any feedback from him?
Well, first he said that he is not allowed to discuss agenda items before the meeting.
You can blame the last session all you want, but the fact is this is a track record.
And then when I called him out on it the following week, politely, of course,
the conversations need to be had in
he
public.
basically said, hang on a moment, let me reference the email so that I'm sure I'm saying everything right.
Sue Mailman had said.
This your name and say your residence?
Fianna Jatan Singh, 37 County Street, District 3, citizen of Worcester. 9J, I agree with Dr. Matri's
here it is. He said, my point was not solely about being unable to discuss issues on the Tuesday agenda prior to the meeting. It's more about not openly discussing my stance on certain agenda issues and the direction I am leaning towards on those issues before the meetings are held. So, his second reply, his second reply was basically, no, I can talk about it. I'm just choosing not to.
Okay, can I add back my minute now?
Go ahead.
Thank you. I would like to also speak on 13B.
That's really funny, Andrew. That's really a good sign for the next 2 years.
How rude. 13B. I do not support the TIFs for companies that are not responsible for development. I've read an article that over $73,000 of wage theft has happened by that company. I do not think we should be giving any tax incentives to companies that are not paying the people that work for them. There are many other small business owners that can barely afford to pay their taxes that I know personally here in the city of Worcester. So why give big tax incentives to companies that aren't even Worcester-based? This is from a Washington, D.C. company, and there's no reason why a company that already has a property that needs a tax incentive now when they've already not been responsible in the past. So I do not support that. Also, 9.0, I agree with what John just said. There's no reason why we need to enforce a sign ordinance now that hasn't been enforced for so many years just because one person makes a complaint about it. Also, 9P, I agree with the senior work-off abatement program being able to be continued. I have many neighbors that are senior citizens. They're already volunteering in places, but they're not getting this tax incentive or the reduction of their taxes. So that would be something that we should expand and look into more. Also, I think it got not put on the agenda, but we definitely need to have a civilian review board. You guys have already had your equity audit. The DOJ report has come out. The Bureau, Research Bureau has already had their report, and you guys still haven't even put it on the agenda. Like, you guys need to be held accountable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Chamber of Commerce, Fred and I don't really talk that much.
And thank you in advance for your
That's
attention.
probably a good call.
Speaking on 13B, I came here tonight cynical.
And Geo Hellraiser,
Which was a certain.
I actually don't like making any like big commitments on taxes.
Fed up.
Because like if I'm like crafting policy and like debating what like the budget should be, I don't want to like back me and the city into a corner where I've like proactively prohibited myself from making a decision that might not necessarily be politically popular in that moment, but may very well be what the city needs to provide services.
Over $560,000 development cost per unit.
It's very wise.
48 units. A $5,000 fine is at the bottom of miscellaneous contingency for this company. And I don't think we should be talking about that.
That's a very good point.
My eyes have been opened tonight about the fact that there is resistance to this. It is not a done deal. And I think the options that this body has is also very disappointing, because if it goes into committee as appointed by Mayor Petty, economic development, Bergman, Toomey, and Mitra. Municipal and legislative operations, Mitra, Rosen, and Bergman. The Chamber of Commerce has a grip on this city, and I think it will be a powerful statement to say no
Thank you.
to the Mankini
Appreciate it.
Group.
Okay, motion to suspend the rules to allow 4 more people to speak online. Oh,
I didn't do this last week because it was the first meeting after a long pause, but if you have 4 people on hold and would allow 2 minutes each, respectfully, we should extend for 15 minutes, not 30. I won't support 30. That's
we
what
can start with 15 then, I'm fine.
They don't have to use all. He's.
Favor of what, Mr. Chairman?
What's that?
30, you said a favor of
He
what?
asked for minutes to 15. Did I say 30? I just said suspend the rules, but,
That was just suspend the rules.
yeah. So, my motion is to suspend the rules, but I'll withdraw it. You want to do 15? It's going to be 15 anyways, it doesn't matter, so. Those in favor? Okay, we got 4 people. Let's get to them, okay?
Just making it longer.
First speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first speaker is Natalie Gibson. I'm trying to meet the resident now.
Hi, Natalie Gibson, District 5. So I wanted to speak on 9J. Thank you, Dr. Mitra. I actually want to point out through the chair that I have actually sent this same request to City Council back in September of 24. It went to MLO, and I heard nothing since. Many orders, as people have said, as is mine, have gone to the city manager. We have never heard anything about them, and that was what I wanted to know back then, was what's happening with our orders once they get to him. 9M, that's Councilor Toomey. I actually want to also say that we should probably be putting the crime stats back on the Worcester PD's Facebook site, because all of a sudden they're missing. So we have no idea what's going on, except for if you go to a community meeting and you might find some stats there. To the gentleman that was talking about the snow removal for years, same problem. I've been having the same issue. I also had put that in a petition. It went to the city manager. Notoriously, January 22nd of 25. So nothing ever came back to me. I never was told what their plans were. And it's quite frankly disingenuous of this city to have us taxpayers paying so much taxes for so many different things, and we don't even have safe streets for cars or pedestrians. Thank you.
The next speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Next speaker is Eric Stratton. Please state your name and city of residence.
Hey, we know this guy.
Yes, Eric Stratton, City of Worcester. I'm calling on a number of them. For 9J, yes, I'd like to see us get some actual accountability with regards to these reports. And frankly, that includes some urgency in terms of timeline. It is not a reasonable expectation that these items get sent to the city manager's office or to other offices within the city, and they linger there and perish, or we never hear back. This is something that, frankly, I would love to see the city taking the initiative.
No, the whole reason I am on this stream is because I have nothing to really comment about on any agenda items tonight.
To get updates. To me, that is simply unacceptable. If I did that at my work, I would be let go for not performing properly. Regarding 10A, I'm sympathetic to this business and the workers who are there. However, I would not support this. The idea behind this 500-foot distance is simply to avoid proliferation of smoke shops in single locations. This happens around the country in lower economic areas where you see proliferation of smoke shops. So I actually support this ordinance as it is currently written. It seems to me that there could have been more homework done with regards to other people who held licenses prior to the business selecting that location. And so I think perhaps the city may want to look at a way of having a variance, but my concern is that we may see smoke shops sort of grouping together in denser areas, especially in places that are lower socioeconomic impact status, and that this has a disproportionate impact on those individuals. Last item that I would have that I'd like to mention is 13B. As others have said, no to this TIF. This is a group that clearly is a bad actor. While we support economic development and other groups like the Chamber of Commerce want to see business happening here, this is not how it's done. This instead is a real mismanagement of city funds. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Eric.
Glenn, I'm going to try to meet the resident now.
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. This your name and city of residence?
Glenn Pape, City of Worcester. It's a yes on 9H, 9J, and on 13B. On 13B, Mercedi has paid the fine required under the Responsible Development Ordinance. Now, that ordinance doesn't say that paying a fine permanently disqualifies a company from doing business with the city. It says the fine is the remedy. They've paid the fine. Let's not impose a second penalty where the law does not require one. And this is not a marginal project. It's a $25 million investment in Worcester, exactly the kind of investment we say we want.
do not believe for a
It
second
generates
versus-
substantial property tax revenue.
Yeah.
It's a 10-year
That hard R is
with
as offensive as
30-year deed-restricted accessible units and affordable units. It strengthens the tax base. And the Merciti Group actually has a very long and positive history
I
with
love
the city.
mispronouncing
They've been
Mankitti,
recognized.
though,
They've
is
won
also very
awards
funny.
for architectural innovation that they've done here in Worcester. So they're not a fly-by-night developer. They're a known partner with a great track record in Worcester. If we turn away this project after the fine has been paid, I think we send a message, not just to Merciti, but to every serious investor watching Worcester, that even when you follow the law, you resolve the issue, the rules can still change after the fact. That's how I think you chill investment. And I think we'd be cutting off our nose to spite our face. And one word here about the Economic Development Department. They don't bring projects to the council casually. They exercise
Let me know when he's done.
diligence, they vet, they select carefully, and when they come to you with a recommendation like this, it reflects a real considered professional judgment, and I think we should respect that work. On Dr. Mitri's motions, I said yes on 9H and 9J. On 9H,
Okay.
I just want to say I strongly support his call for SMART goals.
His time is up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Our last
Mayor,
speaker.
the last speaker is Keith Harris. I'm resident now.
Keith.
Hey everyone, Keith Linares, 1 Germain Street, District 1. I urge City Council to oppose giving the Mankaty Group any additional TIF tie breaks, period. Worcester residents need to be aware that City Council and City Hall is not encouraging responsible development in general. They're encouraging subsidized speculation, where developers are rewarded for buying property, holding it, and then relying on public tax breaks to finance their projects. In November 2023, this council passed the Responsible Development Ordinance to ensure Worcester residents get something back for these tax breaks that we subsidize. The ordinance requires developers receiving tax breaks to follow labor laws, pay fair prevailing wages, prevent wage theft, and hire local workers for their projects. Developers like Mankaty can receive hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions in tax incentives on individual projects from both the city and the state. In at least one instance, Mankaty was found out of compliance with the ordinance after using a subcontractor cited by the Attorney General for serious wage violations totaling more than $73,000 in unpaid wages. The response is a trivial fine of $5,000 compared to potentially millions in incentives from city and state taxpayers. The economic decision-making is clear. It's cheaper for Mankaty to violate the ordinance and be fined than it is to follow it. For the Responsible Development Ordinance to be taken seriously, our city leadership needs to show some backbone and say enough is enough when developers break the rules. Mayor Petty, Kate Toomey, Gary Rosen, Christian King, Rob Bellata, you all signed the Responsible Development Pledge last year, so I expect you all to honor it and stop the Mankaty Group from continuing to take advantage of Worcester taxpayers. I urge you, please stop using my money and the money of my fellow taxpayers to subsidize companies that do not respect our ordinances or the people that work here. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. We are in hearings and orders. The motion is to open the hearing. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. The hearing is regard to condo location on Channing Street and for National Grid. Anybody opposed? Seeing nobody opposed, the motion is to close the hearing, and the motion is to adopt. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Petitions. I don't see anybody here for a petition. So petitions 8A to 8G, we refer to Public Works. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 8H to 8R, we're going to refer to Traffic and Parking. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We have the orders. Council Frizolo.
Mr. Chairman, I'd ask that we take number 13A out of order, please.
Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 13A, city manager recommend adoption of the proposed order to establish no parking anytime zone on the portion of the Grafton Street on a 90-day trial basis, and the ordinance to permanently establish no parking anytime.
Always
on
baffles
portions
me.
of both sides
It
of
always
Grafton
baffles
Street.
me
Counselor?
how they go.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
All in
Through
favor,
you
say
to
aye.
my
Opposed, no.
colleagues
Now
in
the chair, the
Council
ayes have
Public,
it. Blah blah blah.
I
You know,
commend
like
the city
there's not,
manager for bringing
there's
this
no
item
pause
forward.
for like people to go aye or raise their
You have to
hand.
actually see this in person, this traffic nightmare in person, to
Like, how do you know what the
see
vote
how
is if you don't
serious
count?
the situation is on Grafton Street. This is
One of my favorite things about Attell is
issue
that she would make him go back.
that I actually got into the District 3 race once the seat was vacated. I decided to
This
run
isn't
for
even
the,
like unique to city
District 3 seat.
council. The state legislature does this
Mainly
too
because
with
of
like their
issues
voice
like
vote.
this. Mr. Chairman, when school is let out at 2 o'clock, you'll see a line of traffic from Roosevelt School's entrance as far back as some days the Burger King, which is at the intersection of Jennings Street and Grafton Street. I'm not being overly dramatic when I tell you there is no bigger public safety.
Hey,
in
Bill.
the city.
Hello.
From 1:30 to 2:15
who's here?
on Grafton Street.
Mr. Marsh.
Than
Hey,
anywhere
Bill.
else in the
How you
city. That
doing?
is the number
Good,
one
thank
public
you.
safety
How are
issue
you?
on school days, when school
Freezing my
is,
tits off.
in session. You have to see it to believe it.
I was just
Now,
outside City Hall and my
on the screen,
toes are
I've asked my,
frozen.
Oh yeah,
colleagues to look.
pretty chilly out.
See a picture that was taken today.
It's all
And
right.
I
though.
know I didn't go in person tonight.
Every day at Grafton Street near Roosevelt.
Listen,
You'll see many.
there's nothing in the
violations
city
right there in
charter
that picture. One parked
about
by a
having to be
fire
300
hydrant,
yards away from a
two,
school.
Parked right at the curb cut. State law, general law is 5 feet from a curb cut. Every curb cut, other than Batteries Unlimited, where
Wait,
the
he has a
owner
presentation?
justifiably puts cones out.
Wow.
To allow people to. Customers
He brought a
to come in and out of
slideshow?
his business
That is amazing.
without, such a tough situation of being able to see oncoming traffic.
I'm not sure it's a
So
slideshow. I
every
think it's just a
business
photo.
Just
that
one photo.
Comes from Roosevelt School to.
He's really
Dawson Street,
an innovator with media. Remember when he printed out the
cars are parked
website
right
at the
curb cut.
at the candidates
People
forum?
that are exiting those businesses cannot see the oncoming traffic. We have had several accidents.
Imagine
over
there's
the
just like a
years
40 bag on the
because of
dash.
this. The accidents have raised from fender benders to total losses. In one instance, a gentleman was coming out of a Dunkin' Donuts. The car that was at the curb cut gave him the wave to come on.
So what happened so
through. It
far? Any
did,
fireworks?
And what happened
Oh, there's a
was the car
crazy
on
audio glitch while Fred was talking. That
was coming
was pretty
south on
terrifying.
Grafton Street, 122.
And awesome.
On the opposite.
Was it like
lane,
skipping?
in the opposite lane because those cars are
It was
blocking
echoing. Somebody on the
traffic
Zoom had their
and
mic
and
on,
the
I think.
Road of traffic coming down south from Grafton Street toward Roosevelt. The car hit him broadsided and totaled his car. Gentleman happens to be 80 years old. Had to be taken to the hospital.
Well, Bill, I was already talking about
This
this
is
on the
just one
stream,
instance of
but
what
since
goes
you
on
just
here.
jumped on,
Now, I know the parents,
you remember
notified us
when
that
I told
of
you
their
guys in the
that they want to be able to pick up their
in like the
children,
Substack chat,
at
Substack
release time.
chat about how
In all honesty, the
about
safety
how
of
like
their
Jose
children
said
will be
I
addressed
am not
with
allowed
this
to discuss
item
agenda
that we
items before the
are
meeting.
proposing tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that,
Well,
but the safety of every driver
in my subsequent
and every
email
person
where
that
I
takes
provide my
on
commentary
that
on
section
this
of
meeting's
Grafton
agenda
Street each and
items,
every
I
day.
also politely called
They,
called him out on that. And
amount of
and
people
like
have
what
told me
he
they avoid
said
that area.
was
They know of the
one moment.
situation and they avoid that area. Is it, is n-
He said, my point was not solely about being unable to discuss issues on the Tuesday agenda prior to the meeting. It's more about not openly discussing my stance on certain agenda issues and the direction I am leaning towards on those issues before the meetings are held. So
Okay.
yeah. So basically, when I called him out on it, he was basically like, "It's not that I can't, I just don't want to."
Right now, general law is.
It's like, yeah, dude, we know.
State route, you can
Yeah,
pull over, but you
yeah.
cannot park.
It would have been politically much better
They're
off by
parked
just saying
at
nothing to me.
Roosevelt School as early as 12,
He'll learn.
12:15, 12:30. They now leave their cars there and get picked up and
The
come back
city council is not about
around release time,
constituent
just to
services. It's
have
about
their
telling
car
constituents to go fuck themselves.
up close so they can pick up their child.
If what
Release.
Prezi just claimed is true,
Let me just
that's
close by
insane
saying.
behavior in Worcester. Did you guys catch
I
that?
appreciate that.
No, I wasn't listening.
Minutes right now?
You're better for it. They're talking about the parking up at Grafton Street for the school.
Oh
He
my
just,
God.
he's claiming that parents are now parking there like early in the day, and then getting like picked up, like leaving their car,
That's so sick.
like going out, and then coming back just so they have a close spot when school gets out.
And they're parked right.
That's
up at the curb.
amazing.
They park all the way back to an intersection of Dalton Street and Grafton Street, and the.
They could just
entrance
make the
to
whole
Stop
thing
and
no
Shop
parking.
Plaza. From Starbucks coffee back.
There
to
would be an
Dalton
insurrection.
Street, there's the length of 2 cars. When people park there, they are taking up the full width of the road. And people who have to come around and avoid their cars are on the other side of traffic. We are
Dude, I can't
forcing
fucking
people
take this.
to drive
Just
on the
shut
wrong
up.
side of the road.
Did
And
they do
that is
Mankiti
where
yet?
all the
No,
safety
a lot of
issues
public comment on it though.
come into
Yeah.
play. There are many accidents, there are many near misses, and now people are even parking on Dalton Street, and as the light turns green, they get into that line of traffic to go pick up their child, while there are a number of cars that have already been parked for several minutes, as far back as I said, Burger King, and people have actually got out of the car and started arguments and almost blows. This happens very, very frequently. So,
And
Mr.
almost
Chairman,
blows.
I would ask my colleagues
on in
here
this
tonight
neighborhood?
to give us the vote to put up the temporary.
You know, these city
No
council
parking
meetings are
signs.
actually like the first time I've actually seen
city
John
manager
Frizzolo.
and the police
It's like
chief
I had
promised
heard
they have
of him because like
committed
I knew that like
enforcement being
he used to
there. 'Cause that's
represent
what
the
it's gonna
district that Dan Donahue
Right
now
now,
represents.
we talked to the principal of the
Before
school,
like that
and
ethics
in
scandal
all
that I'd
honesty,
only
she
read
says,
about,
"It's not my job
and
to
then
go out
like
there and ask
he
people
tried
to
to
come out
challenge Dan
and
Donahue
park
under
in the-
the
it's
then
another thing I'd
United
like to bring up.
Independent Party, and
The-
like they hate him so much.
City
Evan
Council last
Falchuk
session
basically went as far as like
voted
to like make
over
a
$1
public
million
statement
to,
saying we don't
add
want you in our party.
30-plus parking spots to alleviate this
So
problem,
your
and
first
nobody
glance
is
here,
going up there and taking
expectations
advantage
met
of that
or
parking.
exceeded?
The principal, in all due respect, we asked her if she could speak to the parents.
What do you think, Andrew? Is he everything you ever
and she
dreamed
came
him to
back
be?
say it's not her job. And
I
in all
didn't really
honesty,
have
it's
any
not.
expectations
So
of him, so
that's why
I
we
suppose
need
he is
police
basically the
presence,
Worcester
and we
political
need that
equivalent of
enforcement there.
Schrodinger's cat.
People are going to be asked to move up and go park in
Fucking
the spots
owned.
that we created for this situation. If they don't, then obviously they're going to have to feel the effect of a ticket.
John Frizzolo, to me, I think, is a real hall of mirrors.
I remember last week one parent saying that
It's all
what are you gonna do
misdirection.
with the
You never
40 to
know what he's
50
really
cars?
thinking.
So they admit
What he's saying, what he's
that
thinking,
there's
two
that
different
kind
things.
of number of cars that are waiting for their child to go and pick up their child on school property.
What sort of
So if we
racket
take 30 of those cars off the
do you think
street
that he's like
and put them
scheming
in
to
those
run
parking
at this
spots,
point?
Dude,
that again, I
Like,
commend
he's got something cooking.
the
He's
previous
definitely
city
got something
council
cooking,
and the
right? Like we
manager
can all agree on
for
that.
coming up with those
Maybe we don't
the
know
funding for
specifically
those
what
spots.
he's cooking.
That would go a long way.
He's gonna start like charging
Again, I'll
for
ask my colleagues to
the
support
parking
this,
spots right outside of the school.
temporary
Yeah, just put a couple
and
bucks in my campaign
for
fund. I'll
90
get you
days,
right up. I'll get you right up next to
I
it.
hope, and I am pretty confident that it'll have a dramatic effect. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Council King?
Is Dino's isn't in District 3. Dino's is in
Mr.
District
Chairman,
2. Right?
I want to begin
I believe
by,
you're right.
thanking the counselor.
That's a shame.
Frizolo for
I can't think of a better place for John Frizzola to hold his
item.
meetings.
Certainly, there's been a number of attempts to remedy this matter, from the city manager to the mayor, Councilor Toomey.
You spent like $1 million
and to take this
on a
initiative
parking
to
lot
push
renovation,
things forward,
and it didn't fucking work.
it's a good thing. I have some questions on its face. I'm not sure about this. I think that I could be moved, but I stand initially in opposition to this. I have some questions to the administration. And first and foremost, I'm not looking to ticket parents. The term enforcement's been used a couple of times. I'm not opposed to getting to that. But I stand before you, Mr. Chairman, as the father of Worcester Public School student. And I know I'm also a DCF social worker. I actually went out to Roosevelt this morning around 7:30 or so, I think, or 7:15. Can't remember. They get there pretty early. And I know it's always a race. It's a race if you're picking up kids from after-school programs at the Greendale Y. It's a race at Roosevelt School, Vernon Hill, Flag Street, you name it. And, I've called in the past for safety audits on those schools, which haven't come back. I'll reiterate at some point, maybe next meeting, we'll pull that back out. But there certainly needs to be a plan in coordination with Worcester Police. My question to the chair is this. What gives me pause on this is the establishment of no parking anytime on both portions. I spoke briefly to the counselor, and what he was saying does make sense to me. But I just want
All
some
right, folks.
clarification
I have to go
on
feed
this
the dog
particular item, the
and
way I
then go
read
make an
it,
appearance at the Ralph's
is
open
that this
mic.
is recommending
So
both an adoption,
I'm gonna bounce out. Andrew, it was a pleasure hanging out with you. I'll leave you in these gentlemen's capable hands, and I will. I'll talk to you guys all soon. Good luck for the rest of the night. I'll probably check in later.
Yep. All right, dude. Yep. Hey,
Have
get
fun,
me a hot
guys.
dog.
There you go, bud. All right, I'll talk to you.
What that might look like, what the purpose is, what's the benefits, and then secondly, Mr.
So what was
Chairman,
the
second
rally
benefits portion
Wait,
of that would be,
did I do that
as a point of
bad,
order,
or-
it makes sense to bifurcate it and separate out
Is it
into
on
two
mine
different
now?
orders through the chair.
Yeah, it's on yours.
All right, cool.
All right, see you guys.
Thank you. Through the chair. So,
an
there are,
anti-ICE
as was noted by the
demonstration.
council, there are
Oh, I
two
thought it was for
aspects
the,
to this proposal. One is a
No,
90-day trial,
they were there when I got there, but then there
which
was
could
there was a
go into
changeover.
effect with a,
They changed
an
shifts.
affirmative vote by the
The
council
carpenters went
essentially
inside, and the
immediately.
socialist groups showed up.
And that would apply specifically
How did that
to
go?
that south
It was
portion of the
really
street
cold,
that's approaching the
but
street driveway.
speakers were good.
Where we, where you see the
Pretty good
parents
turnout.
and
just
others who are
'cause,
dropping
you know,
school kids off.
I'd
and
say there's
picking them up
about
arrive.
60 people
well,
there.
it was for school time, and that's also the location where we have this very high frequency of driveways. There's actually 10 driveways in an 800-foot span, so it's a very dangerous situation to have cars parked right.
Hey,
up to
Bill,
those
what do you think of
driveways
my
on a busy
lighting?
road like this.
I think
And
it's
then people trying
perfect,
to-
and you shouldn't
to
change
enter
a
and
thing
exit
about
the
it.
driveways.
Um,
In addition, the second aspect
That's
is
your,
a proposed ordinance
you're
to
just,
make that
you know,
permanent.
you're
There are portions
communing
on
with
both
the
sides
orb
of the road that
is,
are not suitable
just like
for
Trump.
parking. So we have proposed.
Remember
an
when he did
ordinance
that?
would
He touched the
apply to
Saudi
both
orb.
sides of the road rather than
That was
just the one
great.
I
side.
did not actually see that.
Rather than try to perfect.
Oh, that was
in
one of the
initial
best parts of
ordinance,
Trump
our
one.
thought
That picture of
was
him with the
we
orb.
identified the
Oh
whole
my God.
segment in the ordinance. That'll go to Traffic and Parking Committee and give us the opportunity to then perfect those limits and bring it back down to the locations where it's truly necessary.
I just looked up the orb again.
Yes, I'm
That
just
it's
thinking I'm a
the
little
picture is
confused.
so sick.
Um,
I'm loading it into
By vote,
stream
we
so I
take
can
a
pull
vote, we can do
whenever.
the temporary signs as requested. This order also indicates that we would be permanently establishing a no parking anytime zone, which is, for me, it's counterintuitive. So if you could just, someone clarify me, I don't know if it's a point of order, what it is, but it's not It's not.
The point is,
it's not cohesive to me. It seems.
What's it called? An overlay?
It's going to go to the committee for discussion during this 90-day period and see how it works and go. So it'll be like 90 days before the traffic and parking come back with it, I would think, right?
Through the chair.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Chair, that's correct. So the 90-day trial would go into effect immediately. To make that permanent, the city has to pass an ordinance, which would follow the normal process. This would be referred to traffic and parking. There'd be discussions and a hearing there. Then it would have to come back to the city council for a vote on the actual ordinance itself to make it permanent.
Okay. Again, that's not how this reads. You know, and so what I would request as an amendment is that we bifurcate this.
Look at
and
that.
at this particular
That's what you
order,
look like, Andrew. You're like in the
this
background.
laid out,
This
so
is
we have
happening
an
just
order,
in the background of your screen.
adopting
I
a
see.
90-day trial, no parking anytime.
Look at this shit.
On Grafton Street, and then a separate order.
You want to
consider
just go over to
establishment
Saudi Arabia,
of a
touch the orb.
permanent No parking anytime on both portions, Mr. Chairman. The way this is.
They have an
written,
orb. It's
it
chill. Everyone
indicates that
touches
we
it.
would be approving both.
Absolutely
with
nothing
this
satanic
one.
going on.
That's how it reads. That'd be my recommendation, Mr. Chairman. You know, a lot of our parents, guardians, friends, folks that are trying to figure out with the lack of opportunities after school and what have you in Worcester Public Schools, these folks.
You know, if I change my camera angle just
at
slightly,
25 miles per hour, zipping in and
I could probably get a little.
you know, picking up their kids and trying to get
It's
to
not good
work,
enough.
trying to get their kid to a relative, to a friend, to someone to care for their kids.
Bill,
to
anything new come up at that
and I was
rally?
able, you know,
Are there
I've been
any,
down there before,
reasonable
as
rumors or
has
anything
council
like
told
that
me and others,
rolling around in terms
to
of,
kind of take a look at this and,
ice
you know,
activity?
when I went this
No,
morning, it seemed
not
a little bit improved.
that
I went on both sides.
anyone spoke about.
Grafton
I
Street
know
side, the other
that
side.
the most recent thing I heard is that there's a convoy en route to Lewiston, Maine.
You know, it seems like there's a little bit of
my
flow, but
sister
the
lives.
counselor's right. It's not used like it could be, but at the same
But
time, it was
locally,
national
no, I
event.
haven't heard anything.
But when school's letting out,
All I've really
I think
heard
there's
about
a
is
different type of
the
flow
cars
as well
that keep
because
showing
folks
up
are
at,
trying to get back to
the
work
Burlington Mall.
after leaving
Obviously,
work
it's
versus
local, but-
leaving home and what have you. So,
Well,
you know,
the
as a
pro-ICE
page,
protesters?
they're
No,
doing
they've been
sort
taking,
of,
ICE has been, Homeland has been taking delivery
replication of
of
this at our
unmarked
other
vehicles
schools
for the last couple of weeks. So
without the proper piloting, without
like
any
behind the mall is just
sort
basically
of
a parking lot of cars that are getting brought up by
misunderstanding
like
by the public based on how
18-wheeler sort of like transport
that would
style
be my
vehicles, like you go to
amendment. Thank you.
get brought to a
Thank you.
dealership.
Councilor Toomey?
Are you talking about Burlington, Mass, or the Burlington Coat Factory?
Burlington, Mass.
This is
Okay,
certainly
all
has
right.
been
Talked
about on this.
Yeah, I know. I hadn't heard that. But
I'm a
did you
former
see
Roosevelt parent
the
myself.
pro
I
ICE
understand
standout?
what's right, but when my kids
That's-
were there, it was a
those
small
are some
neighborhood
pieces of
school. It
shit.
was not a huge,
Yeah.
600-student
Yeah.
school building, bringing in the number
It's like,
of vehicles
it's
that it does every day.
morally reprehensible, but somewhat understandable since they're your fucking cousins. When you're like, I support my
community
police
and safety
department,
for children.
right?
The one question I have, and I was
It's
going
like
to
ICE,
briefly
like
share, I was
they
gonna
don't know
rise,
you.
To also
Why are you
comment
doing
on
that?
Councilman
You know?
King did regarding its.
It's like
it was confusing and it
they're not
needs to be
even your
separated.
or second
But,
cousins.
I
You know, they-
also am just curious about.
They're from New Jersey or
revoke
something.
this. What is the plan? By saying we're not allowed to park on a certain part of Grafton Street, what is
Yeah.
the plan that's going to be?
Personally, if ICE ever came back here, I would draw my sword and show them a duel with honor.
That is awesome. That is awesome in a hypothetical video game context. But we know that that's what you were saying, is that you were going to hypothetically, you know, in a video game like Zelda, draw your sword.
Yeah.
Not, you
Yeah.
weren't going to do that in real
So we
life.
have been
Yeah,
working with
yeah,
the
but
school to
besides, my high school fencing foil is still at my parents' house.
address the drop off. We certainly wouldn't want to implement this until they have time to notify.
That
the parents
so
of
you
the
did
specific
fencing in high
start
school?
date.
Yeah.
Oh
We
my
are
God, that's
leaving
awesome.
Other portions of the
I
street open
always
for
wanted
parking,
to try
so
to
if you
do
get
that shit.
south of the driveway,
I think
there's
it'd be
actually
so much
an
fun.
extended
There's a Worcester fencing
long
club.
section of shoulder that
Really?
is safe
Yeah.
for more
You
purposes.
can just
Yeah.
go
parking
and
that
Down by
remain
Worcester Square.
available.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close to
you
like
know,
the Leicester
another
line
aspect
on
of this
Stafford
is
Street.
that,
Yeah, the actual
We're going to
deadline.
have to work with the
On-
school
right on your way
district
up.
to adjust and see
Yeah.
how parents react. We don't exactly know what people are going to do. So I think there's going to be a little bit of a learning process here. And I think that's one of the real benefits of having a 90-day trial to start with, is we can observe and learn and adjust as we need to.
Through you, Mr. Chair, I'd had a conversation with the commissioner regarding the possibility of establishing volunteer parents crossing students and walking down the street for safety's sake, and possibly
all right.
talking to
Kate
the,
Toomey just invented a crossing guards.
owners of the supermarket
That's really good.
plaza.
Thank you. Thank you,
To
Kate.
see if we could use some of those spots. Have we gone?
I can't believe no one's
that
ever
at all
thought of
through
that
you, Mr.
before.
Chair? Mr. Rowley, Commissioner Rowley.
Commissioner.
Through the chair, I can't speak as to the conversations the school district may have had on those. So I haven't personally had any.
Andrew, when we
conversations.
run you
It's
for city
out of my
council,
purview to
can you
sort of,
shoot a
make these
commercial
sorts of arrangements
at
for how they might park.
the fencing club?
And I wouldn't want to speak for the
It's like
school
you're
district, so I
like
don't know if
like
that's
imagine I imagine like you take a
Through you,
your
Mr. Chair,
fencing
I know
sword
when
and
I
you
was
sort
on
of
the
like
school committee,
overhand throw it, and
school
it flips a couple
safety
times and it
liaison,
sticks like right into the
would
middle of
have the police
a
department do the
cardboard
traffic
cutout
stop.
of Joe Petty, and you just
I
go
mean,
like
this is
on
not an
guard,
unusual
you know.
issue.
Yeah.
I mean, almost every single school that we have in the city. that police
I had
department,
actually
you know, are going to school has traffic
jokingly
issues.
thought up
I remember they
my,
do
my
it
own
in
kind of
Worcester
like
and North
commercial
School,
against
all of
Jose.
those things. So
Oh,
it's always been
okay.
an
Yeah,
issue. But
yeah,
they would
and
come up
like
with a
in
plan.
my
I remember being
head,
at Wisconsin Magnet School, which was also an issue.
the
And so
opening
they came
part
up
of
with a
it,
plan of how to direct the
was
parents,
basically going to be
in
like,
and out of the parking lot. The
it
teachers were out there.
was
the
going to be
principals were out
like
there. It
an
was back and
homage
forth.
to Mike
So I
Tyson's
think
punch
there's
outs
got to be a little bit more
from
conversation
like
about
back in the
responsibility,
80s.
Okay.
making sure
Yep.
that students are safe
I
and
yeah,
collaborating
I even
with,
came up
the
with
police,
with a
and,
with a
they were
funny,
able to
insulting nickname for
making
for
sure
Jose
that we all
Rivera.
work
You guys
together
want to
to
know what it
see
was
if
going to
we make
be?
it work,
Yes,
because
please.
you can't
Absolutely.
just say we're going to stop the parking
Glass
without
Jose.
having something cohesive.
That's
I'm all
fucking
for
good,
doing
dude.
a trial.
Yeah,
Definitely
like
supporting
I
the
got
Glass
that.
Jose shouldn't throw
that we
stones.
have,
Yeah, and like I
cohesive
got
plan
that
put
from
together
like
before.
from that same Mike Tyson's punch out. That the first opponent you end up facing in it it is a boxer named Glass Joe.
Comments and
Oh, okay.
Councilor Toomey
Yeah,
raised.
he's like it's literally one letter away from
I
Jose.
actually went and met with the superintendent, the principal.
Glass Jose is great.
And some of their staff, some of our staff, we met and we had a conversation. We walked the area, we tried to understand kind of what are the challenges.
Toomey really is in many
One of the
ways a
things that
female
they-
Giuliani.
The school administration tried to take on was to purchase, vests for the teachers so that they could
Same
be
relationship
visible
with
as they're
certain,
outside, coordinating the
substances.
traffic,
Hmm.
more specifically within the actual parking.
In
lot.
my circles, that
they
single
don't
type of
overextend
comparison would give birth to like
sidewalks
so
off
many
the street.
fan fictions.
They try to stay on the actual parking lot.
Truly,
And coordinate some of the
Toomey
efforts.
fan
There is
fictions.
a reality
Love
in
that.
terms of there are days where there's
Yeah, yeah,
intense
and like people create
of
fanfics out of
over
anything,
30
literally.
parking spaces available on the lot, right?
I'm sure.
And so the purposes of what we try to design was to, could we shift parking spaces on the further back so the teachers can occupy those
We're going to
first,
talk about this for 5 hours.
so that it
now.
opens up anything in the front end so parents can park in the front, et cetera, and then allow the teachers and administrators to help support and or guide the students to the
Let me know when
vehicles as they're
Batista's
going
done talking.
through, and then provide a better access in and out through the lab.
I will.
That has been talked about quite a bit. We're trying to kind of reinforce that with the teachers, with the school principal and their staff. Again, they're trying to.
Oh, Andrew, I'm glad you came on the show, man. You're making it a lot more fun.
Students coming
That's
off.
my
they're trying to
job.
be safe,
We,
kids are not running behind vehicles.
We've been doing this thing for a long time.
It's a
Brendan.
complex situation, but I think.
When did we
this
start
is
doing
one
this? In
of the
2021?
aspects of many
Literally
different
5
aspects or
years ago.
different ideas that we've brought to the table to try to address this overall issue.
Breathing
It's a
some
real concern.
new life
I
into
live
the
in area.
program.
I drive that area quite often, so I see it and I experience it. And it's-
Yeah, Andrew,
it's
can
a
you
real
tell the
concern,
class what book that is?
And where you see that people
It
trying to
it is
navigate,
a
and sometimes vehicles
it is a
occupying
combo
lanes, so
volume of a
traffic is
manga
either
dating back to
trying to move in the yellow
1998
lane or
called
sometimes even trying to go around.
Inuyasha.
So I think it becomes
Inuyasha,
challenging.
all right.
We're trying to find every
Fuck with Berserk.
every tool that we can utilize to provide a better, safe environment in that area. I know there's been mention about
I'll find out eventually.
enforcement of police officers, et cetera.
Kim, you
Our
watching
goal is not to
Industry?
go there and just articulate.
That's a good
The
show.
goal is to
I'm on the second
reinforce,
season now.
provide
That's a
some
really good
warnings and
show.
Let people know you got to move it on. You cannot sit here. But we can't do that
Good
right
writing.
now without an actual
Those
ordinance or
Brits,
something
they
in
write-
place.
they write
If
tight.
There's nothing in place. We have no ability to go in there and force people to move. So that's what we want to be able to have, so that we have the ability to enforce those rules and those ordinances. And this 90-day trial will give us the opportunity to understand that. Is it working? Is it not working? Does it help? Does it not help? And it gives us the ability.
If ICE ever
to
does
come
a
back
Minneapolis-style takeover of Worcester, the way it's going to manifest on the city council,
We're all set. So
they're
we have
parking
two
in front of the
votes.
Dunkin' Donuts and I can't get in.
First vote is going to adopt the 90-day emergency preamble. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman? Yes. Councilor Bellata? Councilor Economo?
Yes.
Remember, that is a very good show for sociopathic
Yes.
women with substance
Councilor Mitra?
abuse.
Yes.
Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rosen?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. The second motion is refer to traffic and parking, the ordinance. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Bellata?
Yes.
Councilor Economo?
Yes.
Councilor Vasolo?
Yes.
Councilor King?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Was the language I suggested changed as part of that also?
I'm sorry, I missed it. What was the language you asked for? You just want to make it clear it's not a permanent. goal
Right,
of
it
the
was like to
city.
consider.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
As
Yes.
amended, to
Yes.
consider it.
Councilor Mitra?
Yes.
Councilor Ojeda?
Yes.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rosen?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. Okay, we'll go back to the agenda. First order is request the manager, request the police chief provide increased speed and traffic enforcement surrounding the Belmont Street Community School located at 170 Belmont Street.
No.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, speaking of school safety, I've heard a lot of concerns about speeding on Belmont Street, past Belmont Community School in the area of like Stanton Street in Belmont. So I was just hoping the chief could help out with providing some additional enforcement. I've heard from residents that traffic, regardless if there's crossing guards or not, like the traffic's just really bad and people fly through there. So was hoping that we could get some more enforcement and, you know, write some tickets and write some fines to really enforce that. So thank you.
Thank you. So the motion is referred out to the manager. All those in favor? Opposed? So ordered. Second order, request the manager, request the Commissioner of Parks and Rec and Cemetery initiate a park master plan for Lake Park. Council Bellata.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, I live near Lake Park, grown up there my whole life. It's a great section of the city, a great park. I know a lot of people might be familiar with it, but think it's a state park, but everything on the east side of, on the west side of Lake Ave is city property. So it'd be great to develop a master plan for that park. A lot of residents use it. There's a lot of great trails there in the woods, and it's really a beloved park by the neighborhood and the city. So I was hoping we could do a master plan because that's really never been done before. And it's a great space that could use some improvements.
Okay, so refer that to the manager. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Request the manager provide council with a draft ordinance to increase fees for illegal dumping from $200 to $500 with $1,000 fines.
Oh,
for
I also
other
had this
offenses
next to me.
In an effort to deter illegal dumping in the city's neighborhoods. Council Bellata.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah,
What do you got? I can't see. Well, I can't see with the angle of that light. Oh, Dragon Ball Z, dude.
It's just the regular Dragon Ball.
By increasing fines, this could just help deter illegal dumping, and I really think we need to do more to try and crack down on it.
I don't know the difference between the regular Dragon Ball and the Dragon Ball Z.
So like Dragon Ball was basically the original story, and Dragon Ball Z is basically like the sequel story after like a time skip.
Gotcha.
Quiet streets and
That makes sense.
Harrington Way, Franklin Street, Bigelow Davis Parkway. So I was hoping we could do more just to
Yeah,
crack down on
I think Z is probably like what's become more popular than the original, but like it's all part of like the same timeline.
I think the order is well intended. The number of years I've been on this council, I can say one thing that I believe to be true, based on my experience, and that is that the fines for dumping are by and large paid by the landlord, not the tenant. And by and large, the dumping is done by the tenant, not the landlord. So the nature of what
Wait,
this
I
is
thought that,
trying to accomplish in an effort to deter illegal dumping.
that the
in my opinion,
landlords
will work, whether
just
you
pass
make
off the
fine
cost to the
go from
tenants.
$200
Not
to
now,
$500,
not in
$200
this
to
circumstance, Mo.
$1,000 or more, because the landlord under our ordinance is paying for the tenant, who's, it may very well be that the tenant is being asked to leave and they have nowhere to put their items. I'm not necessarily faulting one side or the other. I'm just suggesting the reality, which is this isn't going to motivate anybody to stop the
Yeah,
problem.
one of my
We've
opinions
talked in this
about like
council about
landlords
having
and
Ballard
renting
Street
and
open more
stuff
regularly to pick up bulk items.
is
We've
that
talked
like
about
I
maybe
think the
dropping
cost of
off
utilities
tires and mattresses and
should be
TVs
paid
and other
by
things
whoever
more
owns the
readily
building.
accessible to households, whether it's
Yeah.
the landlord or the tenant, to try to avoid the illegal dumping. That hasn't yet come to fruition. I
Yeah,
would
that should
like
be
to see a
included in the
report
rent.
as to
It's like,
how many
Yeah.
of these
what are
fines
we
have been
paying for
assessed
here?
against landlords versus tenants, and how frequently, certain people are not following the law. My sense is that nobody wants to pay those fines multiple times, if not even once, but I don't know how they are going to stop it if, as a landlord, a tenant could, is going to violate the ordinance. It falls on the landlord. So, I'd like an amendment to ask for a report as to the breakdown of the fines over the last year, who's been paying them, does it go to the landlord, or does it go to the tenant, and how many people have been multiple offenders. If that's possible, then I'll certainly support waiting for the report to come back. If that's not possible, again, I believe it's well-intended. I'm not being critical of the intent, but I don't believe it raising the fine based on who pays it is going to deter illegal dumping.
The amendment okay?
Yeah, just to follow up, my intention of the order is really to address dumping, not just happening. That's not just happening at properties, but that's happening along city streets. There's a lot of times where you'll find mattresses, furniture. If you've seen a toilet on Bigelow Davis Parkway. It's not just about dumping that's happening in front of properties, in front of homes, and I certainly don't think it's just a landlord and tenant issue. I don't think there's dumping happening all over the city in front of properties, in front of sidewalks. So it's really not really coming at this from a perspective of landlords versus tenants or tenants versus landlords. It's just a question of, can we do more to discourage people from dumping? So thank you.
Council Toomey?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate the order and its intent. The state has very high fine levels for first offense, fines up to $5,500, and subsequent offenses fine up to $15,000. Then there are additional penalties depending upon the type of material. So also vehicles could be seized, which is also what the state is asking for. I know that local ordinances vary by city, Worcester, Boston, Shrewsbury. So if we could get a report back through you, Mr. Chair, if this is okay with Councilor Blada, on what's happening in other cities of our size, and also local cities and towns, that would be very helpful in terms of determining where and what. And I think it's really important that we also take a look at the type of dumping. I know Amesbury case, they had a company that paid up to $50,000 for illegal construction waste dumping. So there are certainly high bars, and local enforcement and nature of dumping can lead to substantially higher fines, sometimes in the tens of thousands of dollars, plus other serious consequences. So I think it's really important that we come up with a very comprehensive report back.
Thank you.
On that. Thank you.
Okay. So is all right as amended? Council Bellata as amended is fine? Okay, thank you. Okay, all those in favor, send it to the manager as amended. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Next up is request the manager review current security operations at Union Station to determine whether increased police patrols and/or outreach social services are needed to ensure that the
station remains safe and welcoming to all. Councilor Rosen?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, during the long political campaign, I heard from a few people on the campaign trail and recently received an email from a woman who evidently uses the train service to and from Boston, frequently maybe commutes for her job. Just a few things that she said in her email that I had heard during the campaign. She was talking about Union Station and issues, she said loitering, aggressive behavior, individuals approaching diners. This one was new to me. Diners at Maxwell Luciano's restaurant for money. And she also mentioned teenagers. This was new to me too. Teenagers have been observed riding bicycles inside the building while commuters are moving to and from the main entrance. And she said the current conditions have created situations that feel unsafe for commuters, visitors, diners, and employees who use the station regularly. And that's what I heard from the campaign. And over the last several years, my wife and I have hosted international students. We host 2 presently, and they're both 15 years old, and they go to the train station. I drop them off and pick them up. They go to Boston via the train. And I've heard these type of issues and complaints from them where they feel so intimidated when certain people come up to them, ask them for money and so on. And I know we do have a police substation down there, so I would think that maybe the police would be aware of what's going on, and I hope they are. And as part of my order, though, I did say maybe outreach social services. If folks down there who maybe are acting out and maybe intimidating people, and they shouldn't be, if they need some help from the city, some social service help, then I'm fine with that. I just think some of these activities maybe go on for so long, we become too accepting of them. And if these things that the woman mentioned in the letter are happening, maybe we could just tighten up things down there and make sure that the Union Station is safe for everyone and welcoming for everyone, including people who do spend inordinate amount of time down there, maybe hanging out.
Yeah,
there,
it's like
but they shouldn't
1080p
be
the whole
allowed
time, then it
simply,
cuts over to
ride bikes there.
Gary
and
Rosen, and
also
it looks
to
like
bother
Morrowind.
diners at our fine restaurant down there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Gary Rosen does kind of look like that first character you encounter in Morrowind.
What purpose are you on?
The elf that
For a point of
makes the
clarification, through you, Mr. Chair,
flying function.
I also
Anyone knows what I'm talking
I
about?
think we all received the same email, and because of the nature of the issue, I reached out to the chief, and it's my understanding that over the past 2 weeks, they've had a number of arrests down there, and they've really tightened everything up, so it's underway. And there is a station down there, but they did send send folks down
Thank
to
you.
address this. Thank you.
Okay, so send that to the manager. All those in favor? Do you want to speak on it?
No, go ahead.
Those in favor, opposed?
Opposed?
Okay, so take a roll call. Roll call.
Councilor Bergman? Councilor Bellotta? No. Councilor Economo?
Yes.
Councilor Fasolo?
Yes.
Councilor King?
No.
Councilor Mitra?
Yes.
Councilor Ojeda?
No.
Councilor Rivera?
Yes.
Councilor Rosen?
Yes.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Okay, request city manager, request Commissioner of Public Works and Commissioner of Transportation Mobility review potential options that could be implemented to fill potholes and repair utility patches in the city, including limited to infrared heater repairs and emulation pothole repair. Illusion. I know, I can't even see it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On this item here, speaking with the Commissioner and Commissioner Raleigh and Commissioner Westerling, in regards to how we handle our potholes, and really doing some research, the asphalt emulsion system seems to work.
Yeah, it's
pretty
going to be
well.
9.2
Not
on
something that's really
or
doable
8.3,
during the winter,
basically
but I think
everything.
something that we can stay on during the course of the year. It provides.
There's really no point
an
in,
asphalt base, a consistency similar.
even
to-
trying.
How's that?
I'm just
the
burnt
good
out
thing
on
about it
covering
is
this
The
point.
emulsion seals the hole.
It's
on
really
the
just,
top,
it
so you
is,
don't
at
have
the end of
that
the
crack
day,
around
it's
the
just sort of
which again is
a
part of
fake
the,
government
freeze
entity
thaw cycle that we experience
that
here.
we're
And
made
then
to
secondly,
swallow as being
I don't know if it's a
legitimate
city
and
requirement
necessary
or if it's
because
just
it's
a
the
contractor,
only
and this is their
sort
contract
of
that they
forum
use
for public
to
input.
do some of their
Doesn't-
patchwork repair.
They don't really have
The
control over
infrared
it.
system where they heat the asphalt that's right there, reallocate it.
Maybe
wind
that's
it
a little
down.
bit cynical, but
That's the premier
it's an earned
system, and
cynicism.
I've seen that done in numerous areas around the city.
In the interest of keeping us from getting too depressed, should we just from now on refer to Gary as Counselor Brosen?
Yes.
Because like that was like what like the closed captioning said his name was. Counselor Brosen.
Transportation Mobility organized a discussion with the appropriate representatives from
Yeah, Counselor Brosen.
start to review traffic pattern changes made to the vicinity of Grafton Street, including the removal of left-hand turns of Houghton Street onto Grafton Street, as well as removal of access to Rice
Yeah,
Square.
Counselor Brosen. He's your bro, dude.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, back a few years ago, Grafton Street, as we know it, Route 122
This guy is
was
such a mobster. I
redesigned
love it.
and renovated by the state, the Commonwealth, Mass DOT, and they redesigned from Rice Square going south down to the base of Grafton Street, I-290. And in doing so, they changed two traffic patterns, which at the time I was extremely against and tried to voice my concern, and unfortunately it ended up in the final phase of the plan. One of them is at Rice Square.
All right, Andrew, wake me up when he's done talking.
A side street that takes you to the properties of two businesses, JJ's Pizza and Palmer's Bakery and Deli. And
Both of those
two
places
establishments
freaking rock.
receive
J&J's
orders,
is great. Palmer's is the best
twice or
Italian
three times
sub
a week from
in the city.
companies
It is the best sandwich in
that,
the city.
unfortunately, deliver in tractor trailers in some cases. And they are not allowed back out
Yes,
to
this
access
is
Route 122,
this is
Grafton
central
Street
to my thesis.
at Rice Square.
With
They are forced
a
to go
controlling
down the narrow
majority
street
of people
Acton
who
Street.
want to take it seriously, the
And
city
what has
council
happened
could be serious.
Several times, many
What
times.
we're seeing
through
right now
these
is
years
just
that is
the
case,
opposite of that.
one way in to Acton Street is that these trucks can't navigate the narrow street because it's not wide
I've never
enough,
felt that
and
Palmer's
they end
hours
up,
are ridiculous.
taking out side view mirrors of cars.
Yeah,
Now,
and
each time they do
actually,
that,
Counselor Toomey's
our
nickname should
insurance
be
rates go up
Counselor
because
Cop Out.
that's a vehicle,
Counselor Cop Out. That's a little bit too
that's,
cool,
happening.
actually.
Just as
That sounds like
should
a.
have spoke on Roosevelt School. Same thing. Every time we have
But
an
the best
accident,
sandwich in the city is
the
Palmer's.
insurance companies raise the rates.
The
here
guy,
in
the one
Worcester.
he's talking about right
And
now.
this
Palmer's
is a case where
down on,
government is definitely
Rice
failing
Square.
the people here with this decision. I want to correct that error that we made a few years back, and I'm told by Commissioner Raleigh that we don't need
Grafton
DOT,
Street past
that
the
we
Grafton
can
Hill
change it
Rotary,
ourselves. So
and then you
it's
take an
a
insane
section of
right,
Acton Street
and you
from
pull
Rice
into a
Square to
parking lot.
Kenyon Ave, probably 50 to 60 feet.
It's one of
that we
those
need to
Albanian
just
Italian places.
return back two ways. Very simple. Just takes new signage take down the signage that says, you're not able to access taking a right-hand turn out of the parking lot. And then we have
maybe
to,
you guys shouldn't actually run for
reactivate
local
the
office
green light
because if
coming
I'm
out of
sitting on
Acton
that
Street. And by the
council,
way, living there
I
all
won't
my
be
life,
available to
knowing,
participate in the
talking to
stream and
people
chew you
that
guys
are
up with jokes.
From Rice Square and Grafton.
That's right.
I can't
You just
remember
have to
an
say the
accident
jokes
coming out of Acton
when you
Street
get your
onto
speaking
Rice Square.
time
It's a separate light.
and
Comes out,
give us a little wink,
few
wink.
seconds, you're given the opportunity to leave, and it's right on red. If no traffic is coming, you're able to get out. So
Gary Brosen is very good.
simple.
I
answer
like
to
Gary
this,
Brosen.
problem that we're having now because of an error in judgment when we were told by DOT that we should have one way there, access. The second one is at the end of Houghton Street when it intersects Grafton Street. Always was able to take a left-hand turn going down Grafton Street toward 290, and DOT put in a medium strip, concrete medium strip, and does not allow the access.
Like, what does this
of a
motherfucker think he's
left-hand turn
accomplishing right now?
onto
This is not
Grafton Street.
changing
What it does,
anything.
It forces people to take a right-hand turn, and you're putting more traffic into a very, very congested intersection or roundabout in front of
Yeah.
St. Stephen's Church at Building
I remember,
Square.
like, I've actually told
So,
Jose
I talked to the manager, I talked to
in one of the
Commissioner Rowley
emails
about
I
it.
sent him with my
Maybe
commentary.
we won't be able to solve the left-hand turn, but
that
we're
like,
definitely gonna look
you know,
at,
like the
the
whole,
light
like
at
the whole
Wall
like
Street, which
petition
has
section,
definitely,
with
been an impediment in not allowing,
90% of the petitions
traffic to
are
flow the way
basically
it should be.
put a
So we're gonna
speed
look at that
bump
as well.
here,
So,
put a stop sign here,
Yes.
so on and so
Mr.
forth.
Mayor, I, thank you for
Honestly,
your time, and
I think all of those
we'd be
really
able
like
to,
clog up the city
at least get
council's
the,
time that
situation
could
on Acton
better be
Street,
used on other things. And so, like,
corrected.
Yep.
I feel like
Thank you.
there should be like a city department that
Councilor King, what purpose
that
do you
basically
have?
just like
Thank you, Mr.
approves
Chairman.
these
I
things
have some questions
one
on
by
this,
one, and
so that I can
like
support
they don't
it.
have to have like
My
they don't need to have
question
like
to the chair is
designated
this.
like meetings or votes
I understand
to do these things.
the
They could just do them.
turn out of Palmer's there. I certainly support that. That makes sense. My concern is Acton Street. I've met with family members there over the years. I believe there was a child fatality on Acton Street. It's a cut-through street. I've had clients and families that have lived on that street. To the chair, to the administration, just want to ask, do you recall whether or not there was a child fatality on Acton Street?
Mr. Manager?
Through Chair to the council, I know there's been some public safety activity on Acton Street. I believe it's sometime in 2018. There was some incident that occurred in that area. But I would have to provide more definitive kind of answer.
Yeah,
But I know
so-
that there's relatively, during that time frame, there was some public safety concerns in that area.
Thank you.
So you want a report on that?
Yeah, I'd like to get a report on that so that I can support this. Without it, I would not be able to. In addition to that, Mr. Chairman, as part of that report, if we could get something regarding any sort of traffic calming that did occur on that street outside of the one-way aspect to it, would be appreciated. But otherwise, I'll support this.
Yeah, why can't Public Works just take care of these petitions?
Councilor Fazolo? So,
That would be,
so
you know,
Councilor
that would
Acting
be
Manager as amended. All those in favor? Opposed? So
make too much
voted.
sense.
Yeah. You know, like
Next item is 9G.
you know,
request
you know,
made by
like
council
the city
report
council
concerning
doesn't
the
need to
feasibility
like
of allowing
respond to like
residents to pay for the
everything.
Community Preservation Act and surcharge online
Just like
on
the
city's website. Dr.
just like the
Mitchell.
solution for every societal ill should not be by default have the
Through you,
cops
Chair,
handle it.
To the manager.
Yeah, but
Um,
that's what it
I think
is.
city residents have been able to pay most of the fees and taxes online. I think this Community Preservation Act fee has been implemented almost like 2.5 years now from fiscal year 2024.
Yeah.
The first
I
time
wonder
the
who
fee
would be a
was
better city
paid was in
councillor,
2023
Mitra
July.
or the Monopoly Man?
And residents have been kind of riding this Preservation Act fee by check and don't have the ability to pay it online.
Imagine if
I was just
Sasha
wondering
Mitra
if
started
it could be
wearing
possible for
like
us,
the Monopoly
in a
Man attire.
technologically so high,
He's just
city
like
ours,
he's just
it
leaning
would be
into it.
feasible to see that that fee
Yeah,
could also be
yeah,
paid
and
online.
like I mean like
Many residents have
and,
requested that, and I thought
if the
that I'd
Monopoly
bring it to
Man
their
actually
attention
like
to see
sat on the city council, at least we could each collect $200 every time we get go at a stoplight.
So ordered.
Yeah.
Next item is request the manager provide the council with a report concerning the feasibility of creating a smart, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound goals for the city in the effort to standardize and track residents' needs in transparent and effective manner. Said goals should include but not be limited to issues such as the amount of potholes that can and should be fixed in a month, providing services for homeless
God, this order is
individuals,
pissing me
determining
off.
appropriate speed hump locations, and improving public safety outcomes. Dr. Mitra.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. Once again, Mr. Chair, through you to City Manager. I think my point here is that there are a lot of things that we need to do. I was looking at that we have about 33 more meetings that we'll be attending this year. And I've got a lot of work to do, so I thought that every time I come, I mean, this is my second time, I see that we have a lot of petitions that residents are requesting to fix the potholes, surface the sidewalk, or pave the roads, take care of the homeless people, take care of the affordable housing. We have a lot of
What
work
does
to
he mean
do
by
to
take
bring in
care?
jobs. Rather than having citizens telling us, is there a way that we can set a goal that we can work being data-driven?
Let's be data-driven. How many people can we put in the camp?
Being
Keep track of that.
holistically approaching with all
That's
of the
gone well
different
for people in
departments
history
like
who have done that.
DPW, Department of Traffic and Transportation and Mobility, our police
It is so
department,
crazy
fire
this guy got
department,
elected, and
inspection department,
he openly said he
integrate
wants
with
to
each
bring
other
back the
and
work
make an
camps.
approach that can we have a goal set up that we can go
It's like
and survey
it's darker
and
than
find
dark,
out
man.
how many potholes are
Oh
there,
my God.
how many places we need to really put the speed hump, rather than coming in here every time, which is fine.
Yeah, there are a
If
number
the
of implements
residents
on the
say
city
that I need a speed
council
hump here,
where,
we'll bring it
where
to your
like,
attention. But
I don't
can
even
we,
pay too much
being,
attention to
rather
their
than being
campaigns, but
reactive,
like
can we
I
be
caught blurbs here and
proactive
there,
and
and
find
like
out
and
what
like
we need to do
I'm just
and set a
like,
smart
who
goal.
actually likes
Smart
you?
in the sense that specific, it's measurable,
Cops and
it's
developers,
attainable,
baby.
it's relevant to us, and it's time bound. Let's say we found out that there are in the city about 500 potholes are there. It could be detected if we use the technology. And
Andrew,
then
you know
we
what's
find
cool?
that
What?
District 1 has so
Let me show
many,
you.
District 2 has so many, 4, 5, and we decide that, okay, and next month we will go and fix 20 potholes in each district. Kind of it is measurable, it's time bound, it's also done. So I think so many other things that we have to do, bringing the businesses, how many jobs you should bring every month or for the year or for quarterly basis, how many houses you should build. Can we have a goal-oriented approach, taking care of talking to all the departments that we have who can make it happen? Can they all set up a goal, and a smart goal? And that's my request, to see if we could do that, because we're here for, time flies, and we have a lot of
Look at
things to do
this.
for the city, so residents can find that we're also one of those smart.
Oh, Moberg was looking right at the
These
camera.
are happening in many other cities like Boston, Houston, Kansas.
He's falling asleep.
New York City.
Look at this
LA.
motherfucker.
I read about it.
He's
I think
dozing.
Maybe we should be one of the smartest cities as well, using all these technological approach, being integrated, being data-driven.
Motherfucker
being working
is
together with our
dozing.
private partners, and see that if we can approach it, make it a smart goal-setting approach. And that's my request, to see if it could be possible for us to do. And I think that it should be. We should be able to do it because we have the technology. We have the department people who are dedicated to work. Rather than waiting for the residents to tell us what needs to be done, can we find out ourselves?
Yes, I do
and
have the map of
proactively
what
take
neighborhoods
care of those?
voted Mitra into office.
Manager then? All set?
Yeah, if the answer will surprise you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Manager?
Just kidding.
Through the chair to the council, I appreciate this order. I am a person that loves data-driven.
Oh my
In terms
God.
of who I am, I love technology. I love to implement technology,
Yeah,
create
sure.
processes that are more streamlined. That's one of the reasons why we instituted a strategic plan. The city did that through that process, establishing KPIs.
We were the
for every
first
department.
administration in the history of the
It's
city of
highlighted
Worcester
in
to
the
establish a
budget, but
strategic
also
plan.
The strategic plan that we've laid out, I think it's something that lays
Oh
out
man, these
specifically
consultants
these
just
goals,
fucking eat
in every single
our
department.
lunch off
We're
of these
building
idiots.
our internal system, technology systems, to be able to have that data easily available to us, so we can measure.
Yeah, I'm a really
So
big
I am
data-driven
extremely
guy.
excited about this, but
That's why I pay
kindly
consultants
encourage,
to put
the
together a
councilors,
plan
especially the
called
new councilors, to
Now
look at our new
Space
strategic
Next.
plan that was launched last year. That's the strategic plan that the city council evaluated me on, right, during the city manager evaluation. But that's also the strategic plan that I evaluate my department heads. And so when we present the budget to you in the budget documents, that each department will be challenged to make sure they achieve those outcomes of that.
Yeah,
strategic
we
plan that
we really
laid
like the
out,
upsides of this
that
order.
involved community input and through surveys, focus groups, you name it. We had a consultant to utilize to engage community to provide perspective, to be able to inform these,
you have a
these
consultant
goals.
you've
So I'm
utilized
extremely,
to
excited about this,
engage
to
community.
be able to provide more feedback and also
Do you think the
where we're at in
consultant
some of the outcomes
proposed
related to the goals that
the
we've
smart,
established as part of the strategic plan? So that not only
data-driven
community, but also the
city
council can
services
be
plan
fully,
that you're talking
in
about here?
tune with the
That would
outcomes
be
that we're
really,
doing
that
as
would
a
be
city.
something.
But I think one of the biggest challenges that we have.
Boy,
as
I
a
wonder who
municipality
arranged the
is
meeting with this
our
consultant. Do you think it
systems,
might
a
have
lot
been the
of our
Chamber of
data-driven
Commerce?
systems that we need are really antiquated.
This
So
is
we're
true.
going through the process of
You can't just
updating them.
engage as a
A lot of that
community.
takes time.
That's not
You're talking
data-driven.
about data upon data upon data, data migration, the integrity of the data. All that stuff is extremely important. We're going through that process in many different avenues. And so I look forward again to kind of bringing this report and sharing all the work that we've been doing around strategic planning, especially SMART goals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Manager. I'd also like to see that as we approach strategically, we also keep our residents informed.
Whoa, this
where
font's
we are,
huge
where
now.
we're
What
going
happened?
with respect to all these things. There are so many things that we need to do, as I mentioned, not only the traffic, not only the potholes or the roads, but also homelessness, taking care of that, bringing in businesses in town.
Whoa,
So
what
a
do you
lot
mean
of
by
things
take
to
care
do,
of it,
and if we
dog?
could keep
Whoa.
our residents be abreast
This is
of
going
where
crazy.
we are periodically. I think that'll be a great help. Thank you.
Thank you. So send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Okay. So, request the Standing Committee on Municipal Operations review the rules of the City Council to consider amending Rule 3 of the City Council to change the seating assignments in the City Council's members every 6 months to allow the members to sit and work with different colleagues throughout each term. See attached report. Said seating changes should not impact the seat of the vice chairperson of the City Council, nor any members seated in specific locations for accessibility purposes. Council Mitra.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. Once again, this is a request I'm trying to see that we make it to the MLO committee to look into, because as you know, the Rule 3 says that we all get the seat assigned on the first day as you pick up the lotteries, and then we are there for the entire term of our being the City Council in this chamber. My thought was that that's great, but I think I'm very much privileged to be able to sit with Councilor Toomey and Councilor Bergman here, those who are quite experienced, and I'm learning from them. I like to see that we all get that kind of opportunity. If we can kind of have a movement amongst us, having the opportunity to sit with different other people, it just is a healthy attitude. It's a good way to know each other a little bit better, talking, discussing, and I think bonding as well. So we're trying to become a good council, a model council, and that's my thinking was there. It's not much of a work. It's just January we did one, maybe in July we do again, and in the 4 times in two years terms, we sit with different people, make good friends. We are friends. I know that we can also go out and meet, but how many times we can do that? We are so busy with our own agenda items, with so many meetings. Probably this would force us to sit with one another. I'd like to sit next to Councilor Rosen, get his experience, Councilor King, to see that, what I can learn from them. So I was just thinking that if we could do that, probably it will be a very good gesture, very good healthy atmosphere. I don't want the vice chair seat be changed or Councilor Toomey's seat be changed. At the same time, Councilor Blerta will be also there, but others probably can get a chance to mingle with each other in this 2-year term that we are here. It's just a good feeling. That's what I was thinking to request, if you can approve that.
Musical chairs, municipal edition.
Councilor King, this doesn't affect you.
Just so silly.
Mr. Chairman,
purposes out there.
I certainly appreciate the order, well-intentioned. And I'm gonna be the bad guy here. I've been on this council, this is going on my 6th term, and I've witnessed folks sit right next to each other and not speak for 4 years, much less 4 months. And I agree that this body can benefit from increased contact that's not a violation of open meeting laws. There's certainly a lot to be said about learning from one another, which is something that I've done from each and every one I've served with, as well as from the public, Mr. Chairman. However, There are a number of important matters before municipal operations and legislative affairs. As a former chairman of that body, and then going way back when it was separated and there was municipal operations and legislative affairs. And in these times, Mr. Chairman, when we're dealing with an onslaught of challenges that we're going to have with state aid, legislative matters, we have a petition on later today on state resolution that could impact the city, et cetera. I would prefer that we focus on other things, Mr. Chairman. So I'm going to be the dark cloud in the room. It's not for a lack of camaraderie or anything of that nature, but sort of the musical chairs, the dance of this is great in thought, but in reality, I'm not sure we're going to get what we need. What I would encourage us to do is to reach out, engage, as the counselor mentioned, outside of this body, and get to know folks' political values and leanings, Mr. Chairman. But I don't think that this would accomplish what we like, and would like that committee to focus on the important work that's there and that will be coming, Mr. Chairman. So I'll be in opposition.
Okay.
I think musical chairs is a joke. I didn't expect anyone to actually say the words musical chairs.
I think that it's a great idea. It's not going to be that we are not going to be looking into other matters. We are still going to be serious about the matters we have in our hand. This doesn't take so much time to take away from anyone. I think it's just a good gesture, just a good way to know each other. I know we can meet outside, but it doesn't happen that often practically. So my request would be to kind of take a vote and recommend it to the MLO committee.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mitra. All set? Okay, so that's so clear then that, so we have a motion, I believe Councilor Kingston has a motion to file according
No, I
to.
didn't make a motion. I just said I was in opposition.
Okay, so we'll just do a roll call on the item, up or down, to send it to committee. Okay.
So this is going to be 9-2?
And, we're good. All set, Dr. Mitra? Okay. Councilor Mitra? So the motion is to send to the standing committee, and it's a yes will go to the standing committee, and a no vote would not go to the standing committee. Roll call.
Council Bergman? Yes. Council Bellata?
Yes.
Council Economo? Council Fasolo?
Oh, 10.
Yes.
10-1.
Council King?
No.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
No.
Oh,
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes.
Rosen King. Rosen
Request
King
from,
Coalition
city
here.
manager to provide council with a
9-2.
report concerning how the office of the city manager
That's talk
processes
about
priorities
coming
and
in
keeps
being a
track of
Rosen.
the numerous requests received by their office during the city council meetings, never to guide to
Yeah,
the
I mean,
council
like,
for the
as
best
far as like the
practices for making
substance
requests
of this
of the office,
particular
Councilman.
thing, it's not like I
Thank
it's
you,
not
Mr.
like
Chair.
it's
Once
not
again,
like
through
I
you
have any
to
like
Mr.
particularly
Manager.
strong objection
Manager,
to it
this
in and of
is,
itself. It's
not
just
to
like
put you on the
I
spot
just think
about
there's
how the
so
process, but I
many
think
more
I was trying
substantive
to make
things
it, I was
the
trying to make
council
it
could be doing
probably
with
find
time
out
than musical
that
chairs.
last time when
Oh,
we in
yeah.
the meeting, I remember you said you have about 1,500 orders
Yeah.
that you accumulate that needs to
Yeah,
be.
but like this
I
thing
was
passing, it's
trying to see that
not the thing I'm
we
gonna
need to
like throw a
be
temper tantrum over.
more
Yeah.
practical.
Yeah.
Something that we can
cares?
really afford to
Next.
do. If we are giving you, we're 10 of us, if we come here every week and on the average have 3
All right,
orders
Andrew, hold on the
each or
fort for a
4
little bit. I
orders,
gotta.
we're giving you about 40 orders a
Okay.
week or 30 orders a week. That's about 2,000 orders almost in 50 weeks. And that's overwhelming. So I'm seeing that if that's the situation, can one person handle it? And how do you process it? Can the residents know that how did all these orders getting processed? Is there a track that we do this, we pick up these orders and have a visibility of how it is moving, and then finally the order is given back to the council, reported as you move forward? So is there a tracking process? But if it looks like that it is way too much than a person can do, we're all human beings. We can only do so much. We all have other things to do. We have family, we have other things. So can we then in that case think that, okay, there are orders we can bring, but can we then restrict it to maybe 2 orders per week so that you can handle it? My question was that, is this really getting a process? Is there a way that we can help that If you say, no, that's okay, I can handle all these, that look to me like it's overwhelming to have that many orders to kind of process, and then people probably don't know how it's getting processed, which one is getting picked and which one is not getting picked. So I thought that maybe you can let us know how your process is, so we counselors can think that, do we need to make a change in this? Is it too much? Can we really do it? And from that point of view, I'd like to request you to kind of give us your way how you handle this.
Mr. Manager?
Through the chair to the council, I'll touch a little bit on that, and then I'll happy to be able to provide a report. The process of answering.
I'm going to wait until
orders,
Bill comes back to
take that
answer these
specific as
donkeys
council orders,
questions.
Because I know that tonight, some folks made reference to petitions, to other items, and that's totally separate. I'm looking at specifically orders that come from the councilors on the council floor, not excluding committee orders too. So not only do we receive hundreds from this council throughout the year, but also committee submits orders as well when committees are having discussions and want further information, et cetera. What I do is I oftentimes what I have done is I have tried to engage with, that's what I do, one-on-one meetings with the councilors. And so I try to discuss those orders with the council that put them forward.
I will answer all of these Duncan-related questions once Bill comes back, so it's not just me
A
talking.
simple thing that I can just get an answer to you, et cetera. Oftentimes, that's simply what they're looking for. They just want an answer. So I'll provide the answer, whether it's a text message, a phone call, an email, or I verbally communicate in a one-on-one meeting. But it doesn't generate a report to the council. They are reports that then sometimes we put together because they're very important, not only to the council, but also to the public that people need to know. So we'll put reports together to inform everyone. And sometimes those reports, there might be multiple councilors that kind of alluded to that kind of report at different meetings. So we try to compile that and answer that collectively. But you're right, we got hundreds. So and when I think about my 3 years as current city manager, thousands, right? And so we look at that specifically for every counselor, and I try to work that through with every counselor. And some counselors say, well, that's not a priority right now. This is my priority. Can you work on answering this one? So that we'll do that. And so I try to do that through our one-on-one engagements with the counselors, understanding and knowing that sometimes, depending on what community wants and what community needs in terms of their advocacy, it could be something that's a little bit more pertinent, that requires our ability to put a comprehensive report that does take time and want to provide something comprehensive for the community and the public to digest. So it all depends on those reports, but that's typically how I engage specifically only to the council orders. The petitions that go to, oftentimes those petitions will go to the respective committees, the committees that all of you councilors report to and conduct business. You then make decisions. That then comes to the departments, and the departments will then put it on the list of things that have been adopted to be able to do or to rectify. And so again, that's kind of how typically the engagement goes. But most often than not, there's some of these orders that are coming forward are answered through just conversations that we're having, and rather than just submitting a full report. Because otherwise, a report could be a simple paragraph, but should I be submitting a simple paragraph report to the council on answering one question? I don't know. But again, the way we've done it has not only I do it, but probably predecessors of mine as well, has probably been through that effort in engaging in conversation directly with the councilor.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. The point is that it's not only the petitions, you have committees, it gets distributed. So, but the orders are, most of the time, it is a request to the manager, so it comes to you. So you get too many orders, and that's what my point was, that how it is processed. And people out there, when you bring in the reports, it's not only for the council to give the report. We're working here for the residents, for those people who are out there, who are looking how this process is done. How is this orders, all these orders are being picked and done. If you can just have a, sort of like your way of doing it, that we pick it this way, and then we talk to the councilors, and we do it based on their priority, I think people will be happy to know the process. I think that's what they're looking for, and I would think that let's be transparent on that, and see that we we are here to serve the community, serve the residents and their needs. So that was my request. Thank you.
Thank you. So you report back on that. So that's the manager. All those-
Chairman.
Council King.
Thank you,
Purpose
Mr.
of
Chairman.
rise.
I rise initially in opposition to this. I could be moved. And, you know, the act of filing an order conveys the will of the council to the city manager. In addition to that, at times when the council is in alignment with the people, it conveys the collective will of the people in this body, Mr. Chairman. And I don't want anyone to leave this conversation or this presentation with any sort of notion that this falls on the city manager individually without resources. So as this is written, I would not support it. If we want to include the 8,000 employees that assist in executing the manager's will and the manager's direction, if we want to include the multiple departments and divisions across the city as part of this, I will support it, but on its face, I would not. I would recommend, by way of an amendment, Mr. Chairman, is that included in that report is
What's
the
going
workforce and the capacity.
Well, we got a
Now,
string of
we know that
questions
there's always
here
staffing
for
issues and the
me,
like.
but
I've called for staffing
I wanted to wait
analysis
until you
of
came
various
back
departments, HHS,
before
for
I answer
example,
them,
the
so it's not just me
organizations,
talking.
so that the work
Oh,
can
you
get
could have
done.
just answered him.
But there's nothing more important.
I would have been lonely.
Than this body conveying the will of the
I know the
people,
feeling. I
and
do
of
know the
this-
feeling. It is
in-
not.
in terms
It's
of
not fun to just
legislation,
talk to yourself to the
in
camera.
terms of
Yep.
direction.
So,
to the city manager.
so
We've heard
like
time and time
these
again
first
from
couple back-to-back
folks in
questions
the
are
political sphere,
from
in the
Troubler
public
50.
sphere,
Andrew, what's your Donkey's order?
about,
And then from
you know,
Geo
how does
Hellraiser, Andrew, say you go
council-
somewhere better
how
than
does the
Donkey's.
manager know what the council wants, right? You got
I
11 different people.
I won't say I go to
11
Dunkin'
different values
Donuts
and priorities,
that
and you got the,
often.
you know,
It's definitely
chair,
not.
the mayor,
It's
and what
definitely
he wants.
not like part of my
And then we
daily
appoint the
commute
clerk
or
and the
anything
auditor. So
like
how's that
that.
all work?
But
How's that-
on the
that
occasion
flow?
that I do go to
And
Dunkin'
so my
Donuts,
amendment would be
I
that all of
am
that be
rather
included in
fond
this,
of
and I could support this, and
coconut
that-
donuts
this item,
whenever they have them in
Coconut
stock.
donuts. I've never had the Donkey's
Mr.
coconut.
Chairman, as a friendly
Yep.
amendment, I'd be in opposition. And if not accepted as a friendly amendment, I'd make a separate motion.
And
Thank you.
Troubler 50,
So we have an
I'm
amendment
not
that
exactly
also
sure
includes the
what to
workforce
make
and the
of
capacity
this
of the man.
comment. It says, Andrew,
As long as I think the
Bleep,
process
Mary,
needs to be
Kill,
known to
Petty,
people.
Mitra, and
That's all I'm
Batista.
asking for. That
Sure.
we have
You're not
probably
sure what to
20,
make of that.
25
Yeah.
orders
Well,
today.
you have to pick
There
one
were
to
30
Mary,
orders probably
one
last
to Bleep,
time. We just want to see how
and
it
one
is
to Kill.
processed. That's all. It was through the workforce.
I don't like
understand
any of
it
them.
has a lot of workforce to work with, but that's what we want to know. How
Well, I
it's
guess
done.
yeah. I guess you
That's
could
what
just
it's about.
you could just say no, thank
So
you.
as amended to
Yeah.
the manager.
Sorry,
all in favor,
sorry,
opposed,
Troubler.
so ordered.
Not getting an
Yeah.
answer out of this
Next
one.
item, I request
Yeah,
the,
I think
city
the
clerk
only
provide the council with
reason I
report
would
outlining
marry one of
various
them
city
is
council orders adopted over the previous 3 months.
it is like
This is kind of tagged
is
along
like
with the previous one that I took.
if they were like so old they were
through you,
literally on
Mr.
death's door,
Chair,
and then
the
I could
city
just inherit their
clerk,
house.
If I could request that, if he has the last 3 months.
Who,
all the
which
orders,
counselor's
how
house
process,
would
I think,
you
city clerk
most
can provide
want
us
to
that.
inherit?
I think that would be.
I don't know. I've never been to any of their
for us,
houses.
all of us, and also for the
That's good.
residents to know how it's a good
That's
process
good.
for them.
Um,
Have some idea.
Next
I,
is
I've been
Saguaro
to Sally's house
Sally.
quite a bit.
Andrew,
I'd like
what's
to
your
sign on to
opinion
that,
on the
Mr. Chairman.
dunks on Lower
So
Grafton
send
by
that to,
Roosevelt School? I have never been to Lower Grafton by Roosevelt School, so I
favor,
cannot
opposed,
give
supported.
an actual
Next
opinion.
item is
Fucking that Donkey's
request
is
Committee
the
on Public
worst
Health and Human
donkeys in the
Service hold a
state.
public hearing for the purpose of
Nay,
making a recommendation to the
in
city
the
council
country.
concerning the
It is
advisability of
quite
endorsing
possibly
ordering
the
H1370
worst donkeys you
and act relative
could
to the
build in
Massachusetts
a
primary
donkey
care
simulator.
review,
Yep.
filed by Representative
And
Richard
Troubler 50
Haggerty.
says, yeah, which dunks in the city is the
And
best?
also
The
as
only
a
Dunkin'
relative
Donuts
primary
I have
care
ever
absence
been
filed by
to
Representative Greg Swartz
is the
said
one
bills
on
have
Main
already
Street,
been
literally
endorsed
right
by the
across the
Worcester
street from City
Board of
Hall.
Health,
And
Cities of Springfield,
and like
Cambridge,
I
the
am
Mass Medical Society,
I am
and
profoundly
UMass Memorial Health,
disappointed
among several other major medical societies,
by the fact
advocacy
that it
organizations,
closes
both regionally
so
and
gosh
nationally,
darn early in
said
the
historic
day.
Primary care legislation
Well, I mean,
known as
like the
Primary
rest
Care
of
for You
Main Street,
will
it closes
increase
at
access to
5,
primary
right when the
care
port's
Make
closed,
it
you know?
free for the
Yeah,
patients or
and
practices.
and
Not
right,
an 18-hour
probably
city
most
down there.
people are getting out of work.
Deductibles.
Yep.
And will dramatically
Yeah,
decrease
like-
health inequities and
That Dunkin'
Massachusetts.
Donuts is filthy.
Councilor Rosen.
That is a
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
trashy
Mr. Chairman, this
Mm.
order came from
Right.
my recent stint as a
Okay,
member of the
Rollbiz,
Worcester Board
what
of
is
Health,
your
and as it
food
mentions,
question
the
that you are
Worcester Board of
waiting to
Health,
ask?
along with
Rollbiz,
other
ask the
local
food question.
agencies,
Yep.
hospitals,
And then
and
Troubler50
agencies,
says,
hospitals,
Andrew,
boards of
what's your
health,
top song from
councils,
25?
boards of
I'm not
selectmen all
exactly
across the
sure what
country
25
have been
is
talking
referring
about the
to.
crisis
Yes, you are.
in
Don't
primary
be
care. A lot
cute
of
with him. You know what
uh,
25 means.
doctors,
No,
their
I literally
studies,
don't.
The
and their learning areas
2025, the past
are
year.
choosing not to
Oh,
go into
yeah,
primary
I don't
care. They
listen
want
to
to
music,
specialize
so
in
You
areas
just don't
they're
listen
more
to music.
interested in and areas that are more
Yep,
financially
yep,
lucrative
nope.
to
The
them.
only music
So we have a
I ever
crisis
listen
in
to with any
primary care
degree of
all across the
frequency
country, including here, of course, in the
is
city
like
of Worcester.
video
A
game
lot of
tracks.
folks who want to
That's
get a primary care physician
awesome.
aren't
That
able
is a
to
very
find one,
singular
let alone one that they choose
act
and they
about you.
like to have.
I
Those
love it.
days seem to be behind
Yep,
us.
and
I know I was with Reliant
Sugar
Medical,
Sally
and I am
asks,
and
Andrew,
have been
which
for
counselor
decades.
would
And
you
my
most want to go to Dunks
longtime
with?
primary care
For
physician
current
retired,
counselors,
and
I would
I
say
was worried
King.
about getting
For
anyone.
for
And they
former
assigned me to
counselors, I
someone.
would
There was
say
no
Attell.
choice. Take this person or you're done pretty much. You don't have
I'm
primary
saying
care.
Gary
So
Rosen.
I took that person, and it's
Because
not
I
the way
know
it was
if
years
they mess
ago,
up
but
my
we do
order,
have that shortage. Now,
he's
there are
taking it
bills
back. He's
in the
complaining
legislatures
he's getting
all
a free one.
across the country, and these are three that deal with primary care. It's called Primary Care for You, and they mirror
Anthropologically,
the legislation that's being
in a
talked
sociological
about
sense,
and passed in different states, cities,
I
and
would
towns are supporting
say
it
I'd
across
want
the
to
country.
go with
I'm
Moberg.
not going to go through all the separate bills,
I
but
just want to see
I've
how
asked
he
for this
treats
to go to
service workers.
the Public Health Committee, which I chair, and we'll take a look at this. And obviously, there's so much here. But we'll come back and make a recommendation
Andrew, this is a very important
to
question from
the City Council. So I'm not
Roll
asking
Biz
for
here
anything tonight.
that
but
I
we'll
am
advise
personally
the City
curious about as
Council,
well.
should we endorse these? Is
So
it worth
Roll Biz
doing?
says,
Will
okay,
that
so Andrew,
help
I'm wondering about the
the
thing
legislators
you're
who are
doing,
sponsoring these
making
and
lunches
support
based on
these?
the
Will that help them get
1953
these passed and through the
food
legislature?
guidelines.
So,
What got you to
again,
do it?
primary
Why
care
1953?
crisis.
And
What
has
can we
there been a
do in
meal
the
that's
city
been
of Worcester
particularly
to
good
help
or
things
bad?
in our Commonwealth
Okay,
and in our
so
city? We can
so
take a look at some of these bills and see if they're
so
worth our support. I know the
story
Board of Health have already
behind
voted
that
on it with the Board of Health.
is
We are
that
supporting
like
these,
one time
strongly
I saw
supporting
like
them.
this
And what
YouTube
came out of that
video
meeting months ago when we decided to support these
from like
was,
this like
let's
channel called
lobby the
Dr.
Worcester
Mike,
City Council and
and
see if we can
like
get their
it was
support too, just like
basically
Springfield
basically
City Council and
doing a
Cambridge
bit of
City
a
Council did the same thing.
retrospective
So
of
here I am,
like
in a
all
way,
the
lobbying you tonight, but just asking for the Public Health Committee to take a look at these and see if it's good stuff. If they should come back
all
to
the like
council for
national food
endorsement. Thank you, Mr.
guidelines
Chairman.
that have like been released that have actually had any degree of staying power. And like the first ones that actually had any degree of staying power were in the 50s. And so like what I was trying to do was I was trying to basically see like how each of the food guidelines would translate as far as like portion sizes on like an actual plate. So,
Okay.
And so like I did, and so like I went, and so I did that for those 4 guidelines. And the food I picked, it was basically it was essentially the same each time, for like consistency. And so like the four guidelines were basically the 4 basic food groups from the 50s, the food pyramid that like I grew up learning in middle school, the my pyramid and the my plate, and like
my plate.
Yeah, my plate.
My plate, is that like MySpace for food?
No, it was basically the food guideline to basically replace the food pyramid.
Okay.
Next item, request
But
manager,
like
request
what
Commissioner on
I
Inspection Services notify owners and managers.
what I
of
The
several city
opinion I've
businesses, especially
personally
along
come
Main,
to on
South
it
Quarter, from
is
Federal
like
Square to Webster
is
Square,
basically
as
like
they're in violation of city
each set
sign
of
ordinance that
each
prohibits
set of
signage
food
from covering
proportions
more than half of the window area of the
has
business.
actually become
to,
kind of worse over
criticize,
time.
to
And the reason I
criticize
say that
and seek
is,
corrective action and to endorse
is
the
that
city
like
sign ordinance without
each
saddling any small
successive
business
system of
with fines.
guidelines
Council Rosen, leader.
recommends
Thank you,
you
Mr.
eat
Chairman.
progressively more
Mr.
and more
Chairman, the
carbs,
last
more
phrase,
and more
several words of
grains,
this
like
is what's
it,
important.
the recommended
Enforce the
serving
city sign
size
ordinance,
or number of servings,
or
it
get rid
goes
of it.
up with
Some
each
people
model.
don't want it enforced. I
Yeah.
understand that. Then maybe if
Yeah.
we're not going
Because I imagine people in
so then
what
maybe
are the,
that's
so what are the
something that we should look at.
four
But
main
without saddling
foods of
any small
1953? Is it
businesses
like
with
it's like
fines.
peas,
I'm not looking to hurt
meatloaf,
any businesses
potato,
along Main
and
Street, District 4, from downtown Franklin Street up to around
cocktail
Park
shrimp?
University and beyond.
No.
I'm not looking
Those are
for
the
that.
four
So
foods
if,
of
That's why
so
I
if
have
I
this
remember
on there.
correctly,
I don't want to saddle
it,
them with fines, but I've heard from a few sources
it was
that
bread,
the city
meat,
might be close to
fruits and
enforcing this
vegetables,
sign ordinance, which says
and milk.
businesses
milk.
cannot
Milk
cover
is one of the
all their
four
glass
foods.
windows with signage.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not
not
allowed
even
to do
dairy,
that. And
just
that's a common ordinance all across the country.
When I
in
was a
cities
kid, my
and towns.
parents had
It's
a
common. Maybe it's
actual
enforced in some,
milkman
maybe it's not. I think it was
with like the
originally
milk
implemented,
like
especially here in the
drop-off
city of
bin
Worcester,
outside of the
because
house.
we had some businesses
And one
that
time,
were involved in
I drank some
illicit
milk
activities, and they didn't want
that had
people
been
looking
sitting in
in,
that
so
bin
they felt they would cover
for
their
way
windows.
too
I'm not saying
long.
that's what they're doing now. I'm
And
just saying that's why there's that.
it was
sign
such a
ordinance
harrowing
here in
experience that I
Worcester,
didn't
maybe
drink milk
in
for
other
about 5
locations
years after that.
across the country.
Yeah.
I think someone tonight, one of our speakers, talked about this item and said, this hasn't been discussed
Yeah,
or enforced for
maybe
decades.
like
I was on
instead
the
of like
council the
spending
last
so
time it was
much money
discussed,
on the police
2019.
department,
April, I think, less than
the
7 years
city
ago.
should like take
Not only was it
take some of that
discussed,
money
there were several businesses,
and like start
especially
like
in District
the,
4 along
the
Main
Worcester
Street,
Milk
that were
Corp.
fined. They were fined. And they were told to take down the signs.
Municipal
or you're gonna pay a
milkmen?
fine.
Yep.
It was enforced. The District
And we should
4
arm
Council,
them.
I believe at the time, also supported it because she heard in
So
many
they're sort of like
every
milk shock
neighborhood
troops.
meetings
Drink your milk.
that they didn't like that. They didn't want windows being blocked. They had some
Hmm.
problems in certain streets and certain areas in certain neighborhoods when the kids were
Damn,
walking to
I would
school and so
pay.
on. We had this
I would
discussion.
empty my
It
savings
wasn't
to see a video
decades
of
ago.
this.
It was 2019.
I don't like this
not even
juice.
7 years ago. So if there's going to be some enforcement, I would just like to see the city
Oh, my God.
notify the managers and owners of the business. You can't
Yeah.
do that. Take the signs down
Yeah,
halfway.
maybe they
half
would
the
be
window,
ha-
that's
maybe
fine.
they would be,
I don't want them fined. I know, because I've heard from some
Maybe
people.
they would be
they're against this.
how we would
How you
counter
get
ice
against
invasions.
it when I'm trying to
Call
warn
in the
businesses.
milkmen.
Do you know what might be coming?
I like
Maybe
this
a
idea.
hefty fine. If you're going to have to remove
I
them
think milk,
anyway,
a carton
then
of milk's a
take
perfectly
the
good thing to
fine.
throw in my
Let's
city.
just do it now. Some people said we shouldn't have that ordinance.
In a
That
video
was
game.
hinted at earlier
Yeah,
during the public comments. That's a whole different story. The idea is we do have the ordinance. I've heard the city is close to enforcing it. I'm trying to help the small businesses. Take down the signage, keep it at 50%, and let's not fine them. Thank
and
you,
we
Mr.
would
Chairman.
and we would give each of them their own milk tank Pokemon.
Council Ojeda.
I like this. I think we're getting somewhere with it.
Council Ojeda.
Geo Hellraiser, I've actually never played any Fallout games.
Well, yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You should
so,
change
there
that.
Are,
They're
there are
good
definitely
games.
throughout the city.
Yeah, I've honestly
some
been
businesses.
like,
So, I guess I just
for
have a
most of
couple
my
of
life,
questions,
a pretty like
to the
classic
city manager.
Nintendo guy.
Is it 50%? I want to start off.
I can see that,
50% of the
Yep.
windows
And,
are covered or not covered. I think that might be correct.
I did deviate a little bit into PlayStation territory about 10 or so years ago, and like probably
Kingdom Hearts.
no, but one of my favorite games that I played on there, it was a series of visual novels called Danganronpa.
Enforcement with the businesses. Because they are
Visual
often
novels.
where
I played a
licensing
game like that
is
called
going in, they
Firewatch.
see these things
Ah.
happening, and then there's further violations that are happening in the business because literally from top to bottom, the entire windows are covered. And so we're
Yep,
seeing more of that. I'm hearing from some folks in the community. It's come up in some neighborhood meetings. So
there-
again, this is something that we've tried to.
There's actually like a bit of a joke from
thought
from the
about
first
finding other
game,
ways that we can try to enforce that and also have engaged businesses as part of that. But right now, especially to the specific,
where basically like the core cast of characters is like held captive in
thank you. And, through the chair
it
to
was
the
supposed
city
to be
manager,
this like prestigious high school,
do we
and
know
like
when
they've
businesses start,
and like
do we
they've
know if
been trapped
this
with no way
information
out
is
for a
shared with
few
them?
days
Do they
already.
understand, like, what percentages?
And like
When they register with the city, do they have, is that part of,
and like one of the
policies of
one of the
signage?
characters
Like, I know when there's sales of, like, the liquor store, they have to put the signs on how old you are.
one of the
tobacco,
characters
and all that
basically
stuff,
goes
but are there
like
shared information on
goes
what's
like
allowed when it comes to signage?
the police are bound to rescue us any minute, you know.
We don't provide that as a
And like at that moment, pretty much the like antagonist of the game / series, which is basically like this like robot bear mascot named Monokuma. He basically appears out of nowhere to basically laugh at the fact that they are hedging their bets on law enforcement to rescue them, and like basically proceeds to like make fun of the police. And like Monokuma goes on to say, all they're good for is being a foil, playing against a villain or anti-hero or evil organization. The bad guys come along and destroy them, and that shows just how badass they really are. Are you sure you want to rely on such an unreliable group of losers?
Same thing when I did a drive-by unit.
That's sick. That's a very good point.
Remind them, expectations of signage and things like that. What they can.
That's a fucking sick point, actually.
So I did appreciate that.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
I think that's something that we just make.
Yeah, I actually have like those screenshots saved on my phone. I'll text them to you.
A fine needs to be put in place.
Yeah,
I think
please
we talked
do.
A lot about fines all day today. So I think we should make sure that we're at least sharing that information with the residents because it's important. And again, I think it looks better when you're driving down the street where you can see into the stores and see people interacting versus not being able to see and know what's going on. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Mr. Manager?
Through the chair to the council, I appreciate that, and actually one of the spirit of this order is exactly what we want to do. We want to make sure that we inform people, we go out there, we let them know kind of what the side ordinance is, give them some warnings, some opportunity to course correct, and then after multiple times where they have negated to correct the action or course correct or change and remove some of the signage, that's when we would then apply the fines. So again, we're trying to be proactive in this effort. There's a number of businesses.
Andrew, I have a quest for you.
Okay.
Where
so there are two meetings from the period of 2023 to 2025 where George Russell talked about
and so again, it's something that
the
we
watermelons
that
we're his neighbor, definitely not him, his neighbor, tried to throw out, and the DPW workers wouldn't take the trash bags because they were too heavy. Now I have found one,
Council Bergman,
and it was on August 29th of 2024.
This is one of those orders
And
tonight
he says
I will
that
say that I appreciate
some months
the
ago,
sentiment of it.
he
Also,
talked about
happy to hear that
this,
the intent
and
is to
I
saddle,
think
and
that that's the meeting where
heard
I
that word
really
used,
remember
or a word similar to
he
that,
was talking
saddle
about 6 or
business
7
owners,
watermelons. Now I need a
fines.
soundbite
However,
of George Russell
and I'm
saying
gonna oppose this
6 or
for
7
the following
watermelons.
reason. It is saddling the code
It's very
firm.
important. It's
Saddling the
for
code
my
firm
art.
to go out, make inspections on
and
something. Quite frankly, I've personally never.
I
had
need
one
you to
person
find
tell
it.
me,
Now,
Mr. Bergman, I've got a problem with such.
I
such.
have
They have a sign that takes up
downloaded
more
every
than half their
video
window. I mean, we
from
take a
2024
vote
and
every
2023,
year on tax rates.
and I'm in the process of
And I am as
running them all
part
through
of the
a rough
group that always
transcription
supports
and
the
DaVinci
lowest
Resolve.
residential
But
rate, and
if
I
you
know
beat me
what
to it,
happens to the commercial businesses,
then
how difficult it is for them to survive. It's a choice
you
I
win.
make. But when it comes to other ways to support small businesses, I do my best. And one of the things I think
Okay,
is incredibly prohibitive
Can you
When it comes
email
to
me
small
the?
businesses,
Can you
is when
email or
you
text me
start
the gist of this later?
inspecting
Because I cannot guarantee
these
I will
types of issues.
actually
Now, if
remember
there
the
is a true
details
public
of this
safety
verbal
concern,
conversation.
I stand corrected.
Yes, I can
and
definitely do
perhaps,
that. 6 or 7
There
watermelons.
should be letters that go out
I'll
through
text you
the
right now.
assessor's office
Okay.
to everybody that pays a commercial tax rate, reminding them of the ordinance. Perhaps if they have to get a permit, if it's a liquor store or another type of business or a lottery store or whatever, that condition of their permit is that the checkbox is checked, that the windows aren't covered, but we're gonna go with a tape measure and measure the windows and the sides of the sign. Maybe they're gonna get a different size window. Maybe they're gonna get bigger print signs. I mean, I just think it's not a best use of the inspectional services. We've got residential units that are unsafe, that we're doing our best to keep up with. And now we're gonna go
George
take the
Russell,
resources of the inspectional services
6
and have them
or
go measure the
7
signs versus the size of the windows.
Oh my
I
God,
personally think
these
we can do better
screenshots
public
that you sent
safety
me are
wise by using the
hilarious.
inspectional service personnel to go into residential units.
Wow, this is
where
this is
people's
something
lives
else.
are in
This is
danger.
a
If
corner
the
of
case is
media
made
that
that
I
this is a
just have
public
never
safety issue,
come across in my
I
life.
could stand to have my mind swayed, but at the moment, I don't see it.
Councilor King?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I happen to agree with Councilor Bergman.
You think maybe we'll free up any city
opposed to
council
this.
seats for
I know
for more
for a
progressive
fact
people
impacts
if
this will have
we
amongst some of the business corridors in the city.
if we
Our small
like went in the
businesses.
middle of the night and
When you
like
think about Main South, that's actually this is
and like
targeted.
swapped out their
When you think
chairs
about,
with camping tents.
like it mentions Webster Square, Lincoln Street,
Yeah.
etc. I
You know,
certainly
especially
that,
since like we have like a whole department
certainly have not
that
heard about
that is dedicated to
concerns
keeping
for
away encampments.
the sign ordinance, as Councilor Rosen mentioned, since he last brought it up. And I remember he's brought up more than one time when you were in.
Wait, what are we
so it was a
agreeing
number of
about on?
times, but that's the only person I've ever heard it from, Mr. Chairman. And the one thing we know about sign ordinances, as we heard tonight, there's vagueness attached to it. Certainly appreciate there's going to be communication. I agree that it will tax, for lack of a better word, the ability and capacity of code. I'm still waiting for my 110 report on those inspections. So there's a lot to do there. I'm opposed to aggressive enforcement, Mr. Chairman. Targeting our small businesses isn't it. Through the chair to the administration, is there any sort of ordinance about pulling down dark shades in the business where you can't see in, through the chair? And what is that ordinance?
Mr. Manager?
And are we enforcing it?
Through the chair to the council, yes. That is. Sir, if you want to. I do want to correct. I do want to confirm, Council Ojeda, that the percentage is 50%. The current active ordinance. We have a current active ordinance in the city of Worcester.
Mr. Chairman, can I reclaim my
At
time?
50%.
I'd like to reclaim my time.
Through the
Madam
chair, yes,
Solicitor?
the dark shades are primarily for liquor establishments and nightclubs, and it's a safety issue, so there is license commission regulations, and that's.
That's for those, for the clubs and for
Liquor establishments.
specifically?
Yep.
Okay, outside of that, is there any ordinances pertaining to that?
To those shades?
Yes.
No, the sign ordinance is different than that.
Thank you. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you. I'm aware of the ordinance for the clubs. I know that they've been enforcing on a couple of them, as has been communicated to me, and rightly so. But nothing prevents these same businesses from, shading the business up. And, the idea that there's something perhaps nefarious going on or what have you is concerning to me. I don't want to cast that light on it, and I was certainly proud to bring forward small business tax reliefs last term that we were able to realize with the support of the city manager that will impact close to 3,000 small businesses. But this sounds also a little about perhaps government overreached in this way. I heard the comment that, when we see this sort of violation, that they go into the other violations that they find. The tentacles.
So, Andrew, what's your first impression of being on the stream? What do you think about it?
And I
I like it. It makes staying for the entire city council session much more tolerable.
That's the idea. Yeah.
You're kind of like we're talking to each other through it.
It's coping
mechanism. I'm willing to explore that. And again.
Meanwhile, if I just sit there through all of this in City Hall, I would probably be bored very quickly.
Resulting in fines and the like is not something I think we need to go to now.
Yeah, but here we can crack all sorts of jokes and have fun.
And how we
That's
see
right.
these businesses.
And I don't have to worry. And I don't have to worry about any stupid security theater.
So it's a no for me. Thank you.
Especially when they don't give us any snacks.
Okay, Council Rosen.
True. It is really crazy. We have municipal TSA.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah. And plus, whenever you go in,
when I was on the council,
they always ask, "Where are you going?"
Gary Rosen's order, as you remember.
Right? And I'm honestly tempted.
Commissioner for Inspectional Services.
I'm honestly tempted to say to them,
council,
"None of your beeswax. It's a public building."
And he was saying that.
I mean, you should.
The figures I think here somewhere. He had, if I remember, it was 19 fines.
Yeah,
fined 19
yeah,
people.
and meanwhile,
Special Services was already going in, and that's what I've heard. I've heard now that Inspectional Services.
I've been to the State House a number of times because I've been trying to get the same bill passed ever since the tail end of Deval Patrick's administration.
That we don't want
well, yes, I have to put my bag for the scanner and stuff.
That's what it says in the freaking order.
They never ask me where I'm going.
Any small
they've
to
never been state your business.
I'm not trying to hurt them.
Once I get through the scanner,
some of you are saying that I want them
I can basically
to
do
catch
whatever
these
I want
businesses, you don't think
within
you're saying
reason.
that, and fine them. I'm saying no. Let's
They're
educate
more normal
them.
there.
Let's tell them what the sign ordinance is. Let's not fine them. Let's help small businesses, my colleagues. And you see a resolution coming up, which is to help small businesses.
Yeah.
So when you start accusing people, they're against small business.
Because
they wanna
I
hurt
only
small
moved
business.
into
It's
Worcester
certain neighborhoods. That's
in late
ridiculous.
22.
It's ridiculous. I'm just
I
saying we have
really
an
had no
ordinance.
nostalgic history
It
with
hasn't
Gary
been
Rosen.
enforced since
I
2019,
was
I
not
guess.
living
It's
in
about
Worcester
to
the
be
last time he was on the
my
council,
colleagues.
and so
look certain
honestly,
ways, you gotta tell me
when
which angles I can
when
go. It's about
I heard
to
his
be
name on
enforced,
social
and it might
media
hurt small businesses with fines.
or I
Why
saw
don't we take a vote
signs
tonight to let
with
them
his
all
name
know
on them for
that
his
you probably
newest
shouldn't
election
keep
campaign.
100% of your windows
I was probably
blown.
one of the few people in the
Okay?
city
You
where
probably
I'm
shouldn't
like,
do that
who
because
is that?
a fine might be imminent. That's all I'm saying.
it that
I'm
way.
not trying to hurt
Yeah.
small businesses, as some of you
Yeah, because
have been
I've
accusing
had
people
no.
of for several years in the city council. Come on, let's change.
I've had
the
neither any
attitude.
fondness
Let's
nor
change the
hatred of
attitude
him
the Worcester
because
City
I was not
Council.
around
Thank you,
to
Mr. Mayor.
judge his
Councilor
stint
Rivera.
last time.
Followed by Council.
That's probably the best way to keep it.
Just
Yeah.
for clarification purposes, is there a way to make the businesses aware without getting fined? I mean, I understand the order says without getting fined, but
Yep.
I obviously know
Mr. Manager.
the fine eventually is coming. So from the chair
Mr.
to
Manager.
the administration. Through the chair to the council, yes, and that is the purpose, and that's sometimes the action that the current license commission takes. They go in, they verify, and they let them know, hey, you can't have that. Now, sometimes the license commission goes in not because of the windows that are covered, they're going in because of other inspections that they have to do. And then they see the windows and say, hey, you're not supposed to have that, you should rectify that. And if we come back and you don't have, then there could be a potential fine. So again, they're trying to advise the business owners. But again, this is something that residents and neighborhood, it may not have come to some of the councilors, but the neighborhood meetings I've gone to, those are the things that come up, right? And so there are
I thought Eric
there are
didn't go to
neighborhoods
neighborhood
here
meetings.
where they're really concerned about that small business that always seems to have some traffic in and out, and everything is covered, and they don't know what's activities in those businesses. So they just want to be able
Andrew,
to
you've been going to
encourage
neighborhood
us to
meetings.
Yeah, I've been
fulfill
giving
what
you
the
my
ordinance
notes.
says.
I know.
50% of the
Any
ordinance.
observations about
Now,
those
if the
meetings that
council,
you'd
the
like
will
to
of the
share with
council is for them
the
not to enforce
class?
the ordinance, should we
Um,
have an ordinance or not? That's a
I
decision
mean,
that the
some
council has to
city
make. I
council
don't think
meetings,
we
they're
should
honestly
remove the
fairly
ordinance.
boring.
What I think is we should
Okay.
enforce the ordinance like every other ordinance that we have.
A lot
that
of
the council and the
them
public
do,
wants us to
a lot
enforce.
of them do
Again,
basically
this
pretty
is
much
something
revolve
that
around like
come
crime
up,
stats in the
again, the
neighborhood.
council is bringing
There's
it up, and the
unfortunately
council has
not
brought it up
much, if
for the sake
any,
of us providing some
discussion about
education,
like,
warnings,
like
so that they can
actual
begin to,
community
to
development,
remove those things from
which
the
I think would be a much better and more fun use
Thank you,
use of the
Mr.
time
Chairman.
for
Through
these
the chair to the
neighborhood meetings.
administration.
Yeah. Now you're stumbling into
Before I get to that, I just want to
Chris and
respond to
I's.
some of the other comments.
Oh,
It's
look who's
clear,
back.
We know where
How long have you been there? I have not been looking at the
majority of
screen.
these
I've
businesses
been
are
here
located.
since through, I think I
And
came back
those
with
are
a
in
Mo.
business corridors
Mo was
throughout
angry
the
at something and.
again, I'm concerned about
My
any
bad.
sort of aggressive enforcement.
Oh, 904,
I
whatever.
can certainly appreciate educating folks. But
Andrew has been going to the
there's
neighborhood
a lot of
meeting.
things that we're asking, as Councilor
How
Mitchell
you liking
mentioned
that?
earlier, for our city to do. Through the chair to the administration.
What he was telling us is that they're very
this-
boring.
Because the way it seems based on this.
And I
particular
was about to
order,
say that,
there is a new focus.
the neighborhood
on
meetings
this.
actually
So to the
were the
administration,
replacement in Planny
is this part
for
of business
what
as
was at one
usual?
time real
Or,
neighborhood councils, the
as the council
democratically
mentioned,
elected.
he's had some discussion with some stakeholders.
And sort of that's how our
this may
bicameral
be
system
a new
worked.
point of emphasis, and that's
And
my
we willingly
interpretation of it, not
entered
necessarily
into a charter change
Mr. Manager?
where that
through the chair to the council,
local
the
democracy
Election
got
Commission
replaced by
actively,
police
enforces
showing
this-
up and
this
getting
ordinance.
paid details out of a
What we're
federal
seeing is
grant
we've seen an increase
to read
in
off
this
of
in many different business corridors across the city.
spreadsheets
Small businesses,
to the
small shops,
neighborhood
et cetera.
about the
So
enforcement
because
activity.
we're
that-
seeing that increase, we want to be able to get ahead
Yeah,
of it.
like I
and
do
provide
vaguely recall at
information,
one of these
warnings,
meetings, I forget which
let people
one,
know that you can't do this, tell
whichever
them what the
police
ordinance
officer
is, so that we
was
don't
like
see that
assigned to
continue
like
escalate
rattle
in
off
business
the crime
So
stats.
what this order is trying to
What
ask us is basically
what
asking us, I'm just
was
taking
saying
the
how
interpretation
like
of the counselor, ask us
how like one of the most
provide
common
some
reasons
information, outside of an actual violation.
people might try to like break into and steal
So
your
you're
car
saying to
is
not enforce it and take some other action, is that right?
is basically like is basically like
Is that what you just said?
is basically
Yeah,
like
to the
people
council,
are
I think-
sometimes looking for
I
like
think part of the enforcement
looking for like
is
a quick way to
education,
like
right? You have to
a
provide
quick
your
way to
education
like
up front,
get to the
provide
other side of the
warnings, you
city
let people
in a
know
snap
so they understand the
and like
ordinances.
when
If
I
they don't
was
then
hearing that
rectify or mitigate the issue, then
I
they then can come back to say, hey, you have done it, you're going to be fined.
I thought
And so
maybe that could be a good
my
argument
understanding from the spirit is that
for improving our public transportation
Tell
system.
them what the ordinance is, tell them that these are the things
Right.
that within
I
the
mean,
city,
yeah, but
for their establishments.
What are we going to do? Have bus drivers show up to the neighborhood meetings?
Pivot or rectify the issue. Then
I mean, we
then
need
come
cops.
Thank you.
We need cops
to the
for
administration. Can you
that,
speak to the
for
uptick
the
that you
neighborhood
mentioned?
meetings. You know,
What are the dimensions?
Bill,
of
did you
that?
see the press conference of all the
to
police
the chair to
chiefs in
council. It's just we've
Minneapolis
seen
today?
in different
No.
corridors of the business corridors
It
of the
was,
city.
I got a
that
clip just
we've seen
before
some
we
businesses,
went live,
we've seen
but it was a
increase in number of
large group of
businesses
police
with
chiefs
that. We don't have an actual
airing their
data
concern
to
about
sit
the
here
number
and tell
of
you this is
their
X
police
amount of businesses
officers,
that have covered the
primarily police
entire,
officers of color in Minnesota,
entire windows. But
who've
again,
been
we're seeing
like
that,
approached
and so
by
we wanna
ICE
be
demanding
proactive.
papers.
And so this
Like
is the
the
inspectors
chief who
are
was holding the
seeing,
press
these
conference,
businesses that are covering the
like one of his
windows, we would
officers was
then go
held
in
at
and provide
gunpoint,
some
and like
education and
they're
information on the
refusing to let her go until she like produced papers, like fucking
Thank you,
citizen.
Council Bergman.
And when she announced that she was a police officer, like they all just like turned, walked away, got in their car, and drove off.
damn.
It's
The
the tone is kind of interesting to see, like how it's turning. It was the same room of really angry, mostly white guys, but their anger seemed to be focused in a different direction.
Hey, only we can do that. You can't do that to us.
Other ways, I believe you could.
What are you
spend
talking
code
about?
enforcement's time and resources.
But I mean,
When Worcester,
the
Worcester
quickest way
downtown
to
was
get
probably
ICE abolished
thriving
is
the
if you
most it ever
turn
was.
police against
We've all
ICE.
seen pictures of TNG.
If it becomes
then and now.
generally held opinion
have
among
books and
police
Facebook.
chiefs
We can see
and,
pictures
you
all
know,
the time in various Facebook
fraternal
posts.
orders
Downtown Worcester, in the early
that
1900s,
ICE agents are no
busting those
good,
people,
they'll
markets
be
everywhere.
gone
There are
tomorrow.
signs covering front windows everywhere.
They'll be going
everywhere,
underground.
Everywhere. Go to New York City, go to Boston, go to Brooklyn, New York, go anywhere where there's major business. There are signs everywhere. I just think it's a bad message to say that we're going to go around with a tape measure, measuring the size of your sign
Like how
versus
Mo
the
just
size
listed all
of your
these cities
window.
that you can go
Unless
to
and
see
until it's proven to
signs
me
and
there's
windows.
a real
I've
public
never
safety
noticed
issue.
all of the
If it's a
modern
question of
bike lanes.
criminality, then
very
there shouldn't be a back
Right, yeah.
There should be
So
some other
busy
way to
on
go
his
in there and
sign
see if
board.
there's some.
It's like,
illegal
oh, there's a
activity
sign.
going
Oh,
on.
there's a sign.
But it's not
Yeah.
the
Meanwhile, he's just
nature
ripping
of
over
this
the
ordinance
wall.
that bothers me.
Yes.
It's the
You know, it would be
fact of
really
unintended
funny if
consequences and the resources
if like they
being
designated
employed by the
someone
code
from
department. Council Rosen
from
mentioned
the
an order
sheriff's
coming up, a
office to
resolution. I'm
basically
gonna support the resolution, 'cause I don't
walk around the
believe we should be
city,
like a
giant
needy
tape
state or
measure
a
in
needy state.
hand,
Let
looking for
people
signs to measure.
function and operate their businesses within reason.
Yeah.
There's nothing proving to me that this is a problem. What if before the election, somebody
Like-
put up signs for us in their front windows?
Would it
in
be
their
a waste of
business
money?
and left them up to the
Absolutely.
appropriate amount of time,
Would it be
which I think is
entertaining
2
as
months?
heck?
So we're gonna say,
Heck
oh,
yes.
something illegal is going on in there because we can't see in there?
Heck yes.
That's permissible. So I don't buy the argument
It's
that because somebody's
permissible.
windows are covered, there's necessarily some illegal activity. If there is, then police department and others should have the evidence form probable cause to go in, but it shouldn't be based on the size of the sign. Again, I'm going to finish by just saying this. I think the resources of the code department are better spent making sure stairways, fire escapes, means of egress for residents are clear and free of debris and are up to code, that people can exit and enter buildings safely, than it is measuring windows.
Oh,
and,
now we
signs.
want our fire code up to speed?
Council Ada.
I'll just be real quick.
These
I
fucking
don't
guys
think it
can't
was,
even keep it straight. They can't even keep their
mentioned
fucking
that,
positions straight.
it
Oh, we
was
care about
something
fire codes
that
now.
was
That's
taking
fun.
place, or there was concern for that. Maybe it was mentioned. Maybe I missed it, and I apologize. But I will say that I've received many text messages and phone calls regarding signage on a lot of the businesses, covering most of the storefronts and stuff like that. So, and just doing the work that I've done on Pleasant Street with some of the TDI work, that's what the focus was on. It was opening up those windows and letting people see the different businesses and bringing them more alive, taking off the gates or the grates in front of the windows and putting up newer windows with some signage, but also having an opportunity for businesses to showcase what they have inside. If you're walking down the street, you can see what's going on. Not just what's going on, but what they're selling. Maybe, there's a network center that's having an event. If you're walking by and it's all covered up, you really can't see it. But it's also opportunities for making it more inviting. When things are closed up and bottled up, they don't seem as inviting. So that's the work that's been done on Pleasant Street with the TDI, and I really appreciate that. Now, again, I think this is, we're kind of getting sidetracked. This is to help the small business understand that this is coming down the road, right? And we want to support you. I understand Councilor Bergman's, what he's saying, but this isn't, attacking the businesses. Just is letting them know, hey, we're not happy about it, but we're letting you know this could potentially happen. So I guess my question to
I got a track that's just screaming out for George Russell saying 6 or 7 watermelons.
How often
we just
have
need
you
to
been
find
experiencing this?
the clip.
And how many times has an inspector gone in? And how many chances or how many times?
Firefox has a really,
been
really
notified?
good
Is it
video
see you
downloader.
next time you come, you get fined?
Plugin.
Because I don't.
So I've
I
been
don't think
building my
that's-
own
that's been
library of
happening
every
as
single
often. But again,
city
it's just
council
to
meeting.
notify them, hey, this could
And
potentially happen.
running them
But
all
again, this is
through
a good
DaVinci
conversation, 'cause
Resolve
it's like, what
to get a
what else can we
transcript.
do? How can we notify?
And I will
business owners?
fucking
I think
find
we're
the
all
watermelons
mentioning
quote if it
that,
kills
small
me.
business. What better ways as a city can we do that? And as honestly as district councilors, to let them be aware, start knocking on their doors, meeting with some of the businesses and say, hey, these are the things that are going on. How can we help you? How can we help you? with
This is
better
a
signage? What can we do as a city
massive
to help you,
procrastination task.
with your marketing and more.
Because I just
signage? So,
cannot.
mean,
I
there's
can't take
always a
the.
positive
I can't take the
things
city
we can
council
do as a
seriously
city,
enough to
not
write
just,
about it
to
anymore.
knock things down. So sorry.
Which presents an issue because
Mr. Manager?
gotta write about something.
To the council, I can't answer to the specifics of the data that you're
You could
asking
write
for
city
right
council
now.
fan fiction.
I would have to provide
Ooh.
a report. We would have to analyze that.
Steamy,
understand,
erotic fan
what are
fiction.
the work orders that
Not
have been
quite.
established I would have to
I was thinking more like create an imaginary imaginary Worcester City Council,
Okay.
and like you could basically write like your own West Wing kind of series.
Oh, okay. All right. That wasn't okay. That wasn't what I was first thinking, but I can work with it.
Yeah.
Do like a ministry for the future style fan fiction of the Worcester City Council, or everything for everyone. Another good book of.
Thank you. Councilor
Yeah, I need to be bonked.
Also, I had to ask a question.
I need to be put in horny jail.
Thank you. So,
Yeah, it's
I
just
guess
watching
it's
Gary
not a vote
Rosen.
that we're doing? No.
It just gets me
So,
it gets
yes
me all
vote is
riled
for
up, you know, when you see
Councilor
someone
Rosen,
that's literally
no vote
4,000
to
years old,
support, Councilor Bergman.
who was a personal advisor to Alexander the Great.
No, it's on the icon. It's not about supporting
You
anybody.
can't.
I'm just trying to get everybody's notes
help
on this one. People understand how they're
Yeah.
voting. That's all.
Yeah, there's been like a thought exercise about the city council that I've honestly been curious about for a little while, and I don't really have like the know-how to make these judgment calls myself because I am not really intimately familiar with with enough of the local politicians to be able to tell where they would fall on this spectrum. But like I was thinking, like in a hypothetical like six-party system,
Thank you. Hopefully this is less controversial.
if both the Democratic and Republican parties were each split into like their progressive, moderate, and conservative factions. I do honestly wonder in which faction would each city council member probably fall.
I don't like to use that word.
Right. I mean, that would be an interesting thought exercise, but I don't think that you could find six like
manager can work with perhaps the assessor and the
different
treasurer,
actual
figure out if
political
we had 20
opinions
people last year. That sounds
that you
right.
could
See
orient
if we
six
can-
parties around
I
on
would
the
like to
Worcester
see
City
if we
Council.
could double it, but I'll certainly open to any suggestions.
You know what I
within
mean?
reason.
Like,
Right,
there
yeah.
aren't like they all
Councilor Vega,
don't
proceed.
know anything.
Okay. So we'll sign amended.
And
Manager,
just
all in
believe the
favor,
same exact
motion
like three or
supported.
four things politically.
9Q, request
Yeah,
to the city manager
yeah,
provide council
like,
with report
as far
reviewing
as
the
I
large number
got
of
in this
streets with
thought
permanent
exercise
parking
in my
bans,
head,
Center
with
right
determination
neoliberal
of signs
party
last
as
council
needed, given
was
how few snow days have recently occurred and the challenges associated
basically
with on-street parking. Councilor Bergman.
Attell
Yes, I
and
put it on, and
two
now we
I
say
would have
yes, okay,
classified
but
under
in
progressive
general, over the
Democratic.
last 4 or 5 years,
Councillor
we've
King
had,
I would have
last year we
classified
had
under
an average of
moderate
4 or 5
Democratic.
snow days. A lot of the streets have
And
permanent,
like that's
no
probably
parking, winter
where
parking
I would
bans,
have put
and I
like
recall
Louise
being on
Ojeda
Tasker
and Jenny
Parking, and I guess we
Pasillo.
were a couple years ago, similar to this, where it seemed to me that many of the streets where they no parking both sides of the
Mo
street,
Bergman,
Mayor Petty,
were not
I
major
probably would have
arteries. They
put
were
under
streets
like
where
conservative
easily could be
Democratic,
parking on one
but
side, or we
like,
could remove the winter
but
parking ban altogether,
but
understanding
like
that it would be
I
declared parking
really
ban,
am not
would still
sure
require them to take their
about
cars off the street.
about like any of
Problem
the
with winter
others.
parking ban, either on one or both sides, is it's automatic. You cannot put your cars.
Mo
in the
Bergman
winter.
would be in a
Now, if we're
party
only
called
having
like
4 or 5 or
New
6
Dawn.
snowstorms a year, it seems to me problematic that where parking is limited on many of these sides.
Just
streets,
one of
you're
those
telling
like
people,
European
find
style
other
straight
places to
fascist
put your
parties.
cars, because there's a permanent winter parking ban. My understanding, and I remember having this conversation with DPW at the time, was that many of these streets were added to the list many, many years ago, and clearly we had more significant numbers of storms and.
Trevor, I think it's
storms
literally
than
the
we do
name of
now,
a
and I
Greek
just think it's a
fascist
time
party.
to revisit and look. I know there are
But it
public
is
safety
certainly
issues.
spiritually
Some of the streets
Israeli.
really can't afford to have a car on either side, but I recall looking at the list of some of them, and many of these streets, you'd be surprised, the fact that how minimal traffic goes through those streets, and nevertheless is permanent parking bans on both sides of the streets. And lastly, let me just say, with those permanent winter parking bans come tickets, and if we can take some of the cars off the street, not jeopardize public safety and avoid the consequence of people getting tickets, I think it's a win for everyone. Thank you.
Okay, so send that to the manager. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Next, I request city manager work with Massport to repair or replace the existing signage in the vicinity of 411 Chandler Street to direct the motorists to the Worcester Regional Airport as the sign has become illegible. Council Rivera.
Thank you, Jose.
Pretty much as it reads, I just put a picture attachment so you guys can see it.
Oh, time for the Guitar Hero animation.
Gotcha. Send that to the manager. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
Kicking,
Request the
kick.
manager, request Commissioner of Public Works, repair, replace, or upright the post that was knocked over in the
Good
front of
morning.
49 Indian Hill Road. Councilor Economo.
As it reads, Mr. Chairman.
Andrew, when
favor,
is this
opposed,
meeting
so
ending,
ordered.
you think?
Request manager, request Commissioner of Parks, Recreation, Cemetery.
Insult the
cut
orb.
down
Now in
2
2 a.m.
dead trees at Roosevelt Park on Indian
We haven't
Hill
gotten
Road.
to the
Councilor
one
Economo.
As it
item
reads.
of consequence,
Those in
have we?
favor, opposed,
The
so
TIF?
ordered. City Council, City of Worcester does
That get
hereby
held
recommend and encourage the Worcester
got held
Board of
last
Health
week.
consider reviewing and changing the 500.
I wasn't here for the first hour of the meeting, so it's
restriction
possible it got
passed in
held again.
2023 that prohibits new retail tobacco
come up. I
licenses
thought it was on
within
the agenda
500
as being
feet
held under
of other tobacco retailers.
It was
in order
held
to
under
promote
privilege
economic
last
development,
week.
Last
to
week,
support women and minority-owned
So
businesses.
if
and
it
to
was held
continue to
this
create
time, there would
jobs
have had to have been
promote
a
the
vote.
city's vision of the 18-hour
Yep.
downtown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yep.
Mr. Chairman,
I
Mr.
predict this meeting will
Recently, a
end
few months ago,
on
in front of the Worcester Board of
February
Health, when
33rd.
I was a member of the Board of Health, and as you heard from, I believe, one of the owners of Noah Mesco and one of the employees, and you heard from Alex Guardiola, who represents them, and we heard from the Chamber of Commerce representative, too. And Noah Mesco is located right next to the Creed in Lower Pleasant Street, down towards Harrington Corner. Been there for a while. They have live music, and it's been a struggle downtown business. And next door, the Creed has a smoking bar. And the city of Worcester, through the rules of the Board of Health, the rules of Department of Public
You know what
Health,
their slogan is over
allows
there at
about
Creed?
15 smoking bars in the city of Worcester, 15 of them. And I think we're at 12. We have 12. Noah Mesco said, boy, we're
No one
having
wants-
trouble.
no
We're
one wants-
struggling.
no one wants to take the bait
We're
on that one?
downtown business. We're minority owned. We're female owned. Just what Worcester tries to, they help out these businesses, all businesses, especially if they're minority owned and female owned. So they
I
said, what
remember
can we
going
do
to watch
increase
Board
our
of
business
Selectmen
so we can
meetings
keep
when I
our
lived in
18
Oxford,
employees stay
and
in
like,
business? And
and
they
like
said, well, let's
typically,
try to add a smoking bar.
their
like our
meetings
next-door neighbor, the Creed
would have been
has.
over like an hour or
Came in
two
front of the
ago.
Board of Health. It had nothing to do, the
You know, I
discussion
don't
had
doubt
nothing
that for a
to do
second.
about the
Yeah,
evils
you know,
of
like
nicotine
they
and
got
tobacco. We
through their
all know
agendas
that.
pretty
Everyone on the
quickly. It
Board of
was
Health,
pretty
everyone on
boom, boom,
this
boom.
Council, we know about the evils of nicotine.
I wish it was
and
more boom, boom,
tobacco.
boom
That
here.
wasn't the discussion.
Yeah.
The discussion was, does the Board of Health
Hold
maybe
now.
adjust its rules? Take a
Yeah,
look at
that
its
way I
rules.
could actually like
Citizens
pay
convinced.
attention
Has a lot of
and
authority.
still
Has a lot
and
of
still
power, the Board of
actually
Health.
like go to bed at
It's
a
not
reasonable hour
advisory.
while enjoying my evening.
So, Noah Mesco said, we talked to the city about opening a smoking bar, because there's still 2 or 3 more openings. We didn't ask to be the only smoking bar in Worcester. That might have been a different story.
All right,
We
which
didn't
band's
have
the
any,
better Pearl Jam, Creed or
cigarette
Pearl
sales,
Jam?
smoking bars, but we do. It's legal. We have that. Fine.
Because I would have
So they
said
asked
Pearl
the
Jam,
city,
but
and
now I
evidently
think I'm saying
someone from the
Creed is
city
better Pearl Jam.
said you have to put in a ventilation system. If you're going to have a smoking bar, you got to have the right ventilation.
Gary,
ventilation
shut
valve.
up.
I guess they did that. Now, I don't know the figure. I didn't hear it tonight from the speakers, But
I was
thought
so
it was
stoked
close
on
to
Gary last week, and I'm already
$60,000
just
they
despondently
invested
annoyed
in a
with
new
him.
ventilation system.
Just getting
for
started.
Noah Mesco
Stone
to get
Temple
their
Pilots
smoking bar.
are the best
No one
Pearl Jam,
said, well, you're right next to the Creed. They have a smoking bar, so you can't. So they come in front of the Board of Health, and they make their case.
Oh, my
and
God,
they had
Gary.
probably 10 out of the 18 employees that all spoke and said, we want to keep our jobs, and so on.
He's going to
And the
relitigate
Board
the
of
entire
Health-
fucking thing right now.
and they're good people. They're good people on the Board of Health. The Board of Health said, well, you know, our business isn't economic development. It's
This
health.
is a
And
good
they
point,
turned the
Chris.
whole
Creed
thing
is
around, the
sort
whole
of like
discussion.
Pearl Jam run through the
With
Righteous Gemstones
Dr.
universe.
Castile, who I highly respect, Dr. Hirsch, who I highly respect. They said, we don't want another smoking bar because the Creed is there, and nicotine and tobacco and smoking are unhealthy. We know they're unhealthy. But you can have it if you move 500 feet up the street. It's all you got to do. Even though it's unhealthy, even though we don't want it. Just take the Noah Mesco
Gary's gonna stop
business
doing
and
that
go
hand
500
motion.
It's less than 2 football fields. So that makes
Slow
it
that
okay.
down.
So I started to think about the 500-foot, buffer zone, and I said, this is ridiculous.
Oh my
I
God,
said,
shut
people
up.
now can go to the Creed right downtown, a legitimate, good business for our 18-hour downtown someday. We don't have that many businesses downtown. Let's keep them all, the ones we have.
Gary
They
Rosen
can
just
go to the
Elon
Creed
Musked,
and do the
and I think I might have been the only one that caught it.
Why should Noah Mesco have to go 500 feet away? It's not that far. It's less than 2 football fields. They've invested money. It was a 5-member Board of Health at the time.
Gary
Mike
Rosen?
Arado, former city councilor Gary Rosen.
At
the time, former city councilor.
What did you just say?
I was trying to say
here
his
in the city
name
of
with
Worcester, economic development is always important
with
to
like that
everyone.
like
It's always
stereotypical
important. We've always
Boston
supported it.
accent,
So we
like where they
couldn't
don't
vote
really
against
pronounce the
Noah Mesco.
R's.
We said, let's give them the permit.
Whereas
We
I
want
think
to
they're
keep
saying,
the 18
Gary
jobs. We want to
Rosen.
keep business downtown. We want to support minority owners. We want to support
Right.
female owners.
Yeah, that's what I heard. That's
They move up the
yeah.
street.
That's-
What's the difference?
I think that
500 feet. Let's
I
keep them
like
open.
it.
3 to 2.
I will say,
Board of Health
I'm
said,
not
"No,
afraid to say that I like it."
economic development's not our bag. It's anti-tobacco and nicotine.
You're in your second 5.
Since
Do you think I'd have any
I'm out.
future as a stand-up
They,
comedian?
The
Well, we
Board of
should-
Health
yes.
gives
I
out
mean,
hundreds
right.
of tobacco licenses, smoking bars.
Yeah, Brian and John will
retail,
get you on it.
cigarettes,
You
whatever else we
just
do.
put
They
together
give out
like
hundreds of these licenses.
2 minutes.
The business is
you know?
economic
They
development.
let me do
We
stand-up
work with
comedy, and I'm-
businesses all the
Yeah,
time.
you can definitely do it.
And the good thing, we got
My
2
biggest
letters
problem is
that
like
night. The Board
I
of Health.
can't like come up with jokes
From the
on
city council.
like
supporting
I can't
the
like
Board of Health.
Oh, I don't
can't,
think anybody
do it on
can.
command,
and
like
supporting
Yeah.
economic
I say these
development
jokes
in
as
downtown
they
Worcester. And
appear
those
in my
2,
mind.
During this difficult
Oh, you mean you
political
couldn't like
campaign we were going through,
those
2 letters of support.
when they come
came
out
from
natural,
2
they come out.
candidates
But
for
if you were
mayor.
to like
They agreed.
put them together as a
Mayor
pre-planned
Councilor King.
like
They both
script,
agreed.
you wouldn't be able
And
to.
I said,
Right,
had the
yeah.
letters in hand.
Especially
brought it up that
speaking
night.
off the cuff.
And I said, here's
And
2 people who have opposing.
Yeah, I guess that really is
ideas
the
running
trick of it.
against each other
It's just
for mayor.
remembering
Yeah.
and getting.
Yeah.
got
And
it
so
right.
like to me
Let's
that's kind of
support
like
businesses
one of the
in
reasons
downtown Worcester.
why like
This council
I
does not
honestly
have the
doubt
right to
whether I
overrule the Board of
actually
Health.
do a good job
Okay?
on
We
the
don't
city
have that
council if I
right.
ever got
But we
elected
can make
to it
recommendations,
because
and they're reasonable people. There's 2 openings on the Board of Health,
like
too.
my speeches
opening
sound
and
good
another
during
person
the
moved
public
out of
comment,
Worcester,
but that's
so she
because
can
I've
continue
written
in the
them
Board of
out in
Health. So there's only
advance.
3 members
Um,
now.
If
Yeah.
I were like
Soon there'll
speaking
be
like
5
off the
members.
cuff in an
And maybe they can
actual
take a
like
look at the
debate
500
where I don't
foot
have all of
buffer,
my remarks
and in the
written
case of
out
Noah Mesco,
and
give them
planned
a
for every
chance.
single
Give them
contingency,
a year chance. We did
the
something else
results
earlier
would
with
be
90
mixed
days,
at best.
Let's give them a chance. They've invested
And
in the
and like
expensive
and like
ventilation
the
equipment. Okay.
like the
Let's
criticism
support
the
them. Board of
criticisms
Health,
I've
if you're watching
seen
tonight, and I know
about
at least
Jose
one
not being
is,
able to like string together
please
complete
reconsider
sentences,
the 500
that
foot buffer.
could
You're hurting
honestly apply
Noah
to
Mesco,
me as
and
well
that could be
in some
hurting
circumstances.
businesses in the future. I know tobacco's evil.
Oh no, I think
know
you
nicotine's
have done a
evil
very
and
good
unhealthy.
job on this program just
That
tonight,
isn't
stringing
the
together
question.
a
That's
complete
not what this
sentence.
this resolution, pardon me, this resolution.
And coming
is
up with stuff off the
addressing-
cuff.
is
So I don't really know, man. I don't know.
addressing
I don't.
economic
I think
development
that
to
you
help business here in
I
the
think you just
city of
got it.
Worcester. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Next
Wouldn't
up,
sell
we
yourself
have,
short.
Councilor
Thanks.
Carmel, followed by Councilor Bawad, followed by Councilor Rivera, followed by Councilor King.
I just want to
Oh,
sign on
my-
to the
I
item,
want to
Mr.
sign
Chairman.
on.
Thank you.
That was easy enough.
Ugh.
Council Bellata?
Yeah, I'm opposed to this because what's going to happen, and this might not happen on the west side of town, but it definitely happens on the east side where you have tons of these little smoke shops that are unsightly. They have terrible lighting. There's one on Hamilton Street near my neighborhood. They light up the whole block at night. They sell to underage kids. A lot of these businesses, I'm not talking about Nemesco and bars, I'm talking about little smoke shops. And if I'm correct, that includes these little smoke shops, through the chair to the city manager. Is that correct?
Mr. Manager?
Through the chair to the council, I think that's what we want to do as part of this. As part of, I think, this conversation or this resolution here is to address them separately. I think currently, right now, we address it, but we want to also, moving forward, address this 500 rule and address the business and what the use of that business, what they're doing is differently. Because right now, they're all being assessed the same way. And so no matter if it's a smoke shop, no matter if it's a lounge, no matter if it's a grocery store, no matter if it's a gas station, they're all being assessed the same way. Right now, the only decision is the 500-foot kind of parameter, not the actual business itself. And that's an area that I think we're more interested in, is in addressing the actual business in terms of what they do and what they sell.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Council King?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just have some questions here.
Yeah. I think if I
Certainly
ever got
support
on,
this business.
Bergman and Toomey
Nemesco
would probably
and
hate my
Creed,
guts on day one.
I believe Creed's also
Yeah,
supporting
that's a
Nemesco
good thing.
having this opportunity. They certainly invested a lot of money. Julius Kuma over at Nemesco has been one of the most reputable proprietors of this sort of business, the bar and lounge that we've had in the city. One of the things that I wanted to kind of note was, when you look at these sorts of establishment, the lack of distinguishing
They already hate me?
between the various types. Nemesco's
I mean,
is an over
they
21,
operate off of high school politics, so if
club.
they
It's
know you
not
to
a
be
store.
associated with
You
people
can
that
go
they
in
don't like,
and purchase
they
things.
probably don't
without
hate you,
proper
but they'll never
ID.
give you the time of day.
And
Right.
again, they've been very, responsible that way. My understanding as well is that Creed and Pleasant Things were grandfathered in as an exception to the 500-foot rule. And all of that kind of plays into this. So
Hold me now.
part of what was supposed to occur from the Board of Health was recommendations as relates to this ordinance. So I have two questions to the administration. Has the Board of Health provided any recommendations with regards to any amendment or anything pertaining to this 500-foot restriction since Nemesco came before that? Two, is there an appeals process for Nemesco for variance? Is that possible? And then three,
Don't make
you can
Andrew
share
answer
for the
that.
public's purposes. the
Andrew, don't
difference-
answer that one.
What influence you have or don't have on the Board of Health. My understanding is that's a separate entity.
Unless you really want
that
to,
you do
then go
not
ahead.
have control of, because there was a statement made earlier, and I don't want any misperceptions that we would like this to happen. We would like.
I'm 6 or 7 watermelons from the edge.
My understanding is that that's a.
Yeah, I don't want to send them another dime.
Mr. Manager?
Fuck yeah.
Yes,
Right.
through the chair to the council. To answer the last question, the city administration has no authority in providing or creating regulations for the Board of Health. The Board of Health creates their own regulations.
Yeah, I don't want my money to be used to like raise a civilization to the ground.
The ability to make
Fuck
those
yeah.
regulatory decisions.
Neither do
Also,
I.
the council
Yeah.
floor as well, they can make those regulatory decisions.
I want it
So,
all fucking back.
in answering your first question relative to, I apologize. The first one was
That's all right. After Chinese D-Day, we'll get Nuremberg
the
round 2.
recommendation, yes.
And they'll
The
actually
rec-
get the job
recommendation,
done.
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean?
Recommendation Board of Health. So the Board of Health, specifically the Board of Health, has not provided any recommendations. The Division of Public Health has been working with a lot of.
Brendan, are you
set of recommendations.
enthusiastic about the
We will
new
put forward before the Board of Health
Canadian-Chinese
reacts.
trade alliance?
But the Board of Health
I'm
specifically, they
kind of
themselves
catching up
have
on a
not
lot of
pro-
things that were
have not
starting at Davos
created
this
or
week
provided any
while you guys are talking,
recommendations.
and my
They
brain is
have
melting.
supported this 500
The
rule.
the
So in my
Sino-Canadian
conversations
trade
with the board
alliance
chair,
on
we have,
automobiles
communicated
is
that
like
we
the
would
start
like to change the
of
process,
a
and that we're
good
gonna be putting forward
post-apocalyptic,
recommendations to the Board of
like
Health,
Mad Max
to
style,
change, some of the regulations
you
or
know,
the way the
American
regulations
dystopia
is being,
movie.
I mean,
enforced currently.
assuming Americans are
there,
even allowed to go to Canada
is a
anymore,
variance
like it's going to be
allowable?
really
And
like
if
there's going to be a lot of
so, how much
sad-faced
time must
Americans
pass
walking around
before it's
Montreal when they
revisited
see all these
by the
badass
business
Chinese
through the chair?
EVs like
Yeah, through the chair
rolling
to the
up and
council. I
down
see
these
one of the
beautifully
challenges,
maintained streets.
that
Nary a
we
pothole in
faced in this
sight.
situation is,
Even though their
we as an
temperatures are
administration
colder and they get way more
advocating
snow.
and trying to
It's
support some of our small
yeah.
businesses.
Yeah, let
and
me
they
take my
don't go through this
affordable
process.
electronic
Once they make a
automobile to the
decision,
doctor that
decision
I
is
can
made,
go to.
and that's it.
Fuck you,
and so there's
America.
no opportunity for the business to actually appeal that actual decision. Of
Yeah, we're building
health.
high-speed rail. You can get from
And so
Ottawa
again,
to Ontario in
and there's
2
no
hours.
kind of seek of a variance.
No big deal.
Where the entity itself is trying to seek, hey, I am.
Yeah, if
just
we
a
had
blue
high
guy,
speed
it's very
rail, we
different
could
than
like take like
retail.
a
Could that be
like
a special
15-minute
permit or
train
variance
from Worcester to
based on
Boston.
the condition or kind of the
Yeah,
business model that
yeah,
they're trying to
for real.
achieve. And,
I think
there
that's
isn't a
part of the
process for
reason,
that.
Andrew,
And
that
so once they make
we
a
don't
decision,
end
the
up with
decision is final. And
programs
again,
like
that's
that is
something
because
that,
we're
again,
still
we
thinking
wanna
in terms of like
evaluate
our
as part of our
states
recommendation,
geographically
to
don't make
evaluate
any
so that
sense,
there
especially
is a
based on
process.
size, right?
Currently,
Like
there is
I was talking about this with a buddy
in the
recently
license
that like
commission for liquor
if
licenses.
the United States really wanted to
There's a
compete,
whole
not like
plethora of
so much
of
economically,
ways
but
in
like
which you can either
compete in the
appeal,
way
hearings, you
other
you know, there's a whole bunch of
major cities are viewed
series of,
globally.
like
Like
different
you'd have to
processes that
connect
happen through the
politically. You'd
liquor
have to
license
connect
process. So
Boston to New York
again,
to make it a
that's something
mega
that's
city
currently right now
to
just not
like even start being
Thank
like a
you.
meaningful
And through
footprint
the chair
in
to the
other large
administration, with
world cities.
respect
Like
to
we should be
the,
talking high speed rail to like so I can have
communication
lunch in
with,
Chicago, not
the
necessarily
chair,
just so
could
I
you
can
share a
get
little
to
bit more about
Boston.
that? 'Cause
Like
as the
we have such a
Councilor
weird
Rosen mentioned,
provincial little
those
view
are
on
folks
what
that are very
our
focused on
our
public health.
our government
We were
entities
allowed
are
that
supposed to
tonight
be
in
and how they're
this
supposed to be
discussion.
connected.
There was
So, like
concern
we're not
back
allowed to
then.
do
I
shit
spoke
with
to folks
Rhode
about,
Island, never mind New York State
politicizing
in a
this.
meaningful way.
Some folks pointed out
Right.
that the folks that voted for it were former councilors.
Fucking
And then you have
thanks,
myself and the mayor
zoning.
looking to support these folks. So if you could
Without
speak
zoning,
to
we would be
the
like
public health
Worcester.
aspects
I
of this
mean,
for
Worcester would be like in the middle of
the,
like a
city manager of
Jakarta-sized
Worcester.
mega
Mr.
city.
Manager?
It's just
Yeah.
Boston to New York. Like,
Through
the
this chair
entire
to the
thing.
council, I think one of the things
Yeah,
that we
and
try
I
to
think
do
that would be
in
kind of cool at
administration
this point. We've been at
Me
it.
too.
balance the
Like
needs of the
that would be
community,
rad. I don't.
Like,
but also
are we
maintain
pro
situation.
growth or not? Do we want to
some
grow
of the
or do we not
aspects
want to
of
grow?
promoting
Because
business
it's
and
awfully
would be
fucking
this
convenient
bullshit.
for the Democrats.
So discussing the
regulations
proper
and
size
the
of a
protections
sign in
that
a way.
public
Now we're
health,
doing smoking. I'm sorry.
officials
Yeah,
want
yeah.
us to adhere to. I think the
This is why we can't have nice
where
things.
with this
I want to live
order
in
or
a.
this,
I want to live in the cities of like William
order or this
Gibson's
ordinance
imagination.
started
I want to live in
was that there was
disgusting
a
dystopian
number,
like
a
hell
series of
worlds
numbers
where
of,
there's so much
businesses
illegal
where young,
commerce and like
individuals were attending or being sold items, tobacco
body
items, that they were
modifications.
in violation. And so the idea was to create a
Laser
ordinance
guns.
that would one cap the number of businesses in the city. That
In the meantime, I think we should take Chris's idea here and pool our taxes to make our
and then-
city
and then
council
two,
poly
try to
market.
have a little bit of better enforcement and separation so that it's not completely segregated in one particular neighborhood.
Andrew, do you feel
Some
qualified
amount of,
in
tobacco businesses in one
statistical
particular neighborhood
outcomes-based based
but it's spread
financial
out across the
models
city.
to make
And so that was the nature
poly
or
market
the essence
for
of what
the Worcester
this
City
was
Council.
created. But I think
I would
there are
have
unintended
no
consequences
idea.
that we as an administration have seen in terms of
We
balancing.
need to find
the
someone who's good at
businesses,
that
like
stuff.
we've seen here with Nemesco as a clear indication of a
But
challenge.
everything's so
where you're in a-
wishy-washy. I mean,
you're
like
in
we
a
couldn't
downtown
even,
business
like
corridor,
the
or
city
you're in a
council
downtown
technically
corridor where there's the nightlife is in
didn't
downtown,
vote
right? And
on
this business has been
the,
operating for many years.
genocide
Great work in terms of the stuff that they're doing there.
resolution.
They've invested. They want to expand their.
So depending on how you worded it, it's like all those people that that
faced
voted
with this
on,
challenge.
or
And
voted.
so,
I guess there's
I
really
think
no
us as
difference, right?
administration,
That
we wanna be able to
betted
balance that
on
and
the
have,
U.S.
a
invading
regulations
Venezuela,
and
and then
have
it
better
happened, and they were like,
processes
well,
and better
it wasn't
direction,
really an
for the
invasion.
small businesses when they're trying to operate
Didn't pay anybody
a
out.
tobacco license here in the city. And so in addition
That's
to
a
that,
real problem for the model.
I've met regularly with the
Clarity.
board chair. We've shared some conversations about this and what our position is as a city and what we think we should recommend and what we think should come forward and for them to consider.
Right, and those floor
they've
votes
been open to that
are
conversation.
the most boring
Sometimes
part.
they're, you know, they've shared
We need
their
it. We need it
positions
to
with
be
me,
based on like
but
holds,
right now we feel as though
pretty
that,
much, because that's where they really.
there's a better process. And so
That's
we're
where
gonna try to
the
recommend that to
sport
them. And hopefully,
really
that's something
really
that,
moves. You know.
that has been able to, they can be able to see that there's a benefit.
Actually, that's
in
pretty
that
clearly concrete.
businesses and
That'd be a good
supporting
place to
businesses
start.
and supporting public health is
Take
not
bets
mutually
on
exclusive.
what counselor
You can do
holds
both.
what item.
And I think this is what we're trying to achieve here as a city.
Because like
Thank you,
it
Mr.
happens
Chairman. I think with that
once a
information,
meeting,
I definitely
at
can
least.
support this. I'm interested to see what we can come up with regards to adult establishments.
Wait, I
in
didn't
the
know
city
about this one.
as
They
relates to,
edited the
500-foot
the
buffer.
map of the front line.
And I don't want anyone to make any mistake about it. This is not to undermine the authority
That's
of the Board of Health.
like,
I've had folks reach out to me and ask
gee,
me to
I didn't
file
see
this.
that. That's
It's outside of our
crazy.
purview.
How do you get
I don't
away
think
with
that's the
that? You shouldn't be able to get
I
away with
agree
that.
with giving the Mescos a chance.
They're
and
like-
similar situated businesses in a way.
I mean, if you showed me
does
two
not,
maps of the like
have an
contested
impact
territory
on
of
folks underage.
the Russia-Ukraine war,
and
and you
public health
told me to
related
tell
public
you
health
which one
matters.
is the
And
correct
I also
one.
don't
Like
want,
I'm not.
to reiterate.
It's
I wanna
a
think
straight
that
crapshoot for
this
me. It's a
body
50-50.
is going to, is attempting to undermine the public health interests of the city. So I will be supporting that with those clarifications.
As the resident dumb guy of the group,
Thank you.
I can
Councilor
tell you
Berman.
that shit would work because
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I too.
no one I
support
know
this
is
since it's
going to
a
be able to draw that
resolution.
map.
I rise to support it without amending or asking for any other authority to
Yeah.
rise. I will say that I tried and believe I have been consistent my time on the council. I think there are times where regulations are warranted, but they, by and large, should be done by the state. There was a vote taken on this floor regarding flavored tobacco. There was a vote taken on this floor.
And that's your
regarding
problem, Mo.
gas
You just
stations,
want
all of
to
which I
make
said
the
at
state
time.
do everything.
And many of those votes, I was.
Well, he doesn't want it.
In the minority
Yeah,
as far as the number voting.
Yeah, like he doesn't want to do
absolutely
anything of
decided some of
substance
those.
himself.
I said on all those occasions that if we're going to regulate anything, it should be done through the state, not through the city, because invariably people go elsewhere. Flavored tobacco being an example.
Oh, of
They
course,
have to
404
apply to
Media
Worcester,
broke
so
the
they go to
story
surrounding
about
towns and do
editing the
business
map.
there. If it was
I haven't
banned
checked that
statewide,
site
that's a
in
whole nother
a couple
story.
weeks, but I
I
love
never
it.
liked.
I'm doing some of the best in the business.
This, not because I am in favor of tobacco. I am one person that can honestly say something similar to Bill Clinton. I don't think I've inhaled it. If I have, it was infrequently. So I don't smoke.
Shut
Nobody
up,
in my
Mo.
family
That's not what he
smokes,
said, and
although
you're an
My
idiot.
children, despite the fact I advise them otherwise, do like to take a vape. But I'm not a smoker.
Take a
nor is
vape.
my wife. But I do think it's unfair to have these arbitrary requirements like 500 feet, and I say arbitrary.
Wait, no,
because
I wanted
why
this
not
on the
1,000?
404.
Why not beyond that? Why at all? This isn't going to stop people from smoking or using a hookah bar. They just go to the one that's already there, that's grandfathered in. So I don't think it's really helping solve the problem at all. I'd also say it's inconsistent because, we allow marijuana facilities. We don't worry about the dangers of people under 25 using marijuana. Probably one of the biggest abusers of public health nationwide, and the city of Worcester is no exception, is fast food restaurants, which do a terrible service to people that eat there, and we don't choose to regulate fast food restaurants, and I'm glad we don't. But
we
I'm
do.
just saying that
What our
there are many
zoning laws
things
literally are.
we
Like, I
we
can't
can
build a
choose
can't put a
that aren't in the
McDonald's in my
public
front
safety,
lawn.
as far as public health, as far as what they sell.
Guy is such a
or what they
disingenuous
produce. So I
boob
do
when he
support
doesn't
this.
want to
I don't think
appear
there's
as
any
though he
harm
never
in relaxing
Like,
the rule.
play
I
this-
think there
this
were a lot of
libertarian
things done
game,
over
like,
the last
would
council
never
or
stand in the
two
way of
that
business.
to
His
me
entire-
bothered me because
everything he
they
stands
kind
for
of mirrored in
of
my mind.
regulating
Others may disagree.
His
that
number
nanny state
one
mentality, like,
operating
we're gonna tell
principle
you what's good for
politically
you,
is the
and I think people
preservation
always find a way,
and
whether they smoke, or
increasing
whether it's alcohol, or
restriction
whether it's
of
hookah,
land
whether it's
use.
flavored tobacco,
And
to
yet
find what they
he
want legally
reaches this
elsewhere
like
if we regulate it in Worcester.
game of being
Again, I'm
like
all
an
for doing certain things statewide, but I'm not for doing things
anti-regulatory
selectively,
sort
city
of
by city,
political
as a
figure, but like
representative of
he
Worcester, I certainly
would
support the
literally like lay his body on the gears of the machine of whatever we're doing to get rid of
Tony?
second family
You all
zone.
set? Okay. Oh, Sandra, okay. Well, you're on Matt, everybody, so, okay. Councilor Rivera?
I just want to know, I don't know if it's an amendment or anything like that, but, or a suggestion, but is it possible so they can, remember, I know this is going for the Board of Health to review, but maybe even possibly if they don't want to do this, is 500
We'll be back in a sec.
buffer for, if it's, remember, this is 21 and over, like, how do you tell adults you can't smoke, we don't. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if it's a 21 and over establishment, although smoking should be anyways, they don't meet those 500, they don't need the 500 buffer zone.
I think that's what we're trying to do, I think, with this resolution, right? Yeah. Mr. Manager?
Yeah, through the chair to the council, yeah, we're trying to create, the resolution is basically trying to support,
This is
some of the discussion
embarrassing.
that's happened on
Like,
the
Jose
Board
is
of
basically
Health
just
and some of the
announcing to
discussion
the
with
public
small
that he
businesses
hasn't been paying
about that
attention
we
or
need to
doesn't understand what's happening. So
rethink the process.
can you do
of
this like
500 feet.
explain it like M5 routine on Reddit?
Because again,
And that's
if you
after all the
allow
commentary I've
the
given him these past 2
should
weeks.
that lounge be treated just the same as a gas station that sells tobacco? Two completely different, right? One of them, you can actually potentially have someone go in and buy a product that might be underage. It's very unlikely you're going to be underage or 15 or 16 years old and walk into a hookah lounge because there's going to be a bouncer there checking.
Like, seriously, Jose, I don't have to spend my
So,
Thursday/Friday
right now we
combing through
treat
the city
everything
council
the same.
agenda and giving you my
And we
commentary.
say the 500-foot rule is the rule,
Do this because
no
I
matter what
care.
business is what.
Yeah.
So you could potentially have 2 smoke shops that are 500
Yeah.
feet.
The least you can
Is
do
that
is
the
put
best
my
for that
commentary to
neighborhood?
good use.
Right? Is it diversity of businesses, et cetera? And also what we're trying to think about it is, I understand sometimes the concentration of certain businesses, right? But hookah lounges are more so in the nightlife area. Do we want a hookah lounge, all the way up Burnt Coal Street or on Massasoit Street, or I don't know, right? And those are the things that if it's for downtown and we're trying to create a nightlife or 18-hour downtown in the city so that all of us and anybody can enjoy and go out to eat and enjoy all the things that downtown has to offer, are we saying no because of that 500-foot rule and moving businesses at different spaces of the city, or may not be the right place for that because it should be in the downtown area? So again, we want to look at it differently, and I think the best applicable kind of process that we have is the liquor license process. It's a very thorough process. It's highly regulated, and there's different mechanisms that people can utilize, and not every business is treated the same because of those things that I've mentioned. And then also there's appeals process, there's hearings, there's things that allow the businesses to come back to the liquor license. And there's also enforcement that the License Commission has around liquor license. So again, this provides a little bit better process that I think right now currently does not have.
Yeah, I agree. Obviously, I'm not a smoker, but I think hurting small businesses or bringing business to the city of Worcester is what's important as well, so it's a good balance, but thank you.
Councilor King for a second time.
Mr. Chairman, just real quickly through the administration, some of the concerns, again, have been upon this body infringing on the autonomy of public health. You have some recommendations you're working on. Can you kind of once again reiterate and speak to sort of the parameters around your administration and the board? I think folks understand we stated we don't have jurisdiction. So if you could just speak once again,
Mr. Manager?
so that folks are not being misled at all, that this is a vote that's changing anything.
Yeah, through the chair to the council. So the Board of Health is a regulatory board. They have the ability to set regulations, and then the city creates and enforces those regulations. Just like the council body, you have the ability to vote ordinances. The city manager recommends that, right? And so we'll submit a recommendation to the Board of Health, but it's up to the Board of Health to decide if this is a recommendation that they want to take forward. They can choose not to, and they can continue on the 500-foot rule, and that's something that, again, we would have to then work with our businesses and our community. But I think right now, I think what the resolution is speaking to is, I think the council body wants to share their thoughts, like it was shared in letters to the Board of Health as a body to say, hey, you know, maybe there's an opportunity to look things differently from the regulators, the legislators of the city, which is the council body, and then the city administration to provide some recommendations. So I think that's the kind of the nature of what we're trying to do. But again, at the end of the day, the Board of Health has the right to make that decision.
And lastly, I know that, once again, I know that Creed established it right next door was in support of this as well. But in terms of the competition that might occur if this is lifted in a way, you know, I know there's a cap. Maybe that's going to change the cap. I don't know how you would do one without the other, but I don't know. That's, I guess, something that we'll see. But would certainly be interested in a report around how buffer zones impact economic vitality of small businesses that are closely situated. You know, I think it says a lot that you have two minority-owned businesses that are in support of one another here, but would like that in the form of a report to inform this body and go to committee, because I think that's also a critical component in addition to what you mentioned about a proliferation. In the past, we've had proliferation of alcohol establishments, these smoking sorts of businesses or places that are selling tobaccos that's similar to the sign ordinances are in certain locations in the city. And that's part of the reasons, as you mentioned, that we put the cap on it. So I certainly support this one and leave the small business alone with the signage.
Okay, we're going to roll call the resolution. Yes, we support the resolution. The no vote would not.
Andrew, I zoned out. What did they agree on?
Roll call.
Council Bergman?
Yes.
Me too, to be honest.
Well, we're doomed.
Economo? Yes.
They just banned us from the internet.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Where'd
Yes.
Bill go, by the way?
Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Ice got them.
Okay, we are on 12A, motions to advertise the proposed ordinance. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. I'm sorry, do a roll call on that? Roll call.
Council Bergman? Yes. Council Bellotta? Yes. Council Economo?
Yes.
Council Fasolo?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes. 12B, refer to traffic and parking. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 13C is held under privilege regarding the ordinances of 2008 to modify 15-minute parking, 30-minute metered parking, 2-hour metered parking, and commercial load zone on portions of Water Street. Motions to Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I held this. I was in opposition without the appropriate. I didn't have enough information. I have spoken to the councilor, Frizzolo, and I've spoken with traffic and mobility, whatever it's called, and Mr. Batista, and I spoke to some of the businesses down there over the weekend, and I just wanted to be clear about how this would play out. So I'm just going to ask through the chair to the administration, if you could just clarify that this is in support of businesses and kind of moving people along. We know we have significant parking issues there for folks that are working in that area, as well as folks who are frequenting the businesses. So if you could just, like in 45 seconds, just explain the sequencing of this, how we're moving from 15 minutes to 30 to I don't know if it's an hour or two, whatever the case might be.
Yeah, through the chair to the council, we've heard from a lot of the business and residents in the area in terms of some of the challenges when we first instituted some of these ordinances, when we were looking at overall the parking in the Canal District in relation to the Polo Park. And so one of the things that we wanted to do here is we're kind of changing some of these elements in terms of the 15-minute, 30-minute to provide more opportunity for the businesses, so there's flow and opportunity for more parking, more time.
Picked up a freaking 12-pack of ice cream sandwiches.
Reduce the time.
Dude,
because
just a
it's
straight up
impacting the
ice cream
business in a
sandwich is
negative
the
way, so we
best.
wanted to support
While you're
some of
away,
what
they
they're
just
doing.
banned
Thank you. And I
any
think one of the
container
most
of ice cream
important,
sandwiches over 11.
one of the important aspects of this is
Oh,
also,
dude. I'm going straight to
for
Gitmo.
loading, commercial loading zones. Adjusting that's been a huge challenge there. It's caused a lot of traffic impediment, pedestrian impediment. So I appreciate the time that I had to review this. Thank you.
Okay. So motions to advertise? Roll call.
Council Bergman? Yes. Council Bellotta? Yes. Council Economou?
Yes.
Council Vasolo?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Mr. Chairman, motion to suspend the rules if we're almost done.
Yes. Motion to suspend the rules. Roll call.
Council Bergman? Yes. Council Bellotta? Council Economou?
Yes.
Council Vasolo?
Yes.
Council King?
Yes.
Council Mitra?
Yes.
Council Ojeda?
Yes.
Council Rivera?
Yes.
Council Rosen?
Yes.
Council Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. Council King, followed by Council Fazolo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's come to my attention today that there are some needs and some communication that might be helpful to our students over at Worcester Public Schools. We know that there are financial challenges on the city side and on the school side. This motion is simply just to request the city manager explore with the superintendent any additional city revenue streams that might be available in the interests of extracurricular activities for Worcester Public Schools, Mr. Chairman. I know that there are currently ongoing conversations between the city and the schools, and I just would like to add that this council supports that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Can we maybe amend that in the future, Council King, to say that we should develop some fund that maybe in the future, maybe not on the city side, on the school side, that if we have these extracurricular activities, we have this money available.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. Like, yes, thank you. And I don't know if there's a way to get something to committee on this, to my education committee, but maybe.
You want to move this quickly, though.
Yeah, no, I want this to move.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if I can add to the motion, maybe an update on potential sources or communication, because we know it's always a battle between the money. Thank you.
It's always a battle between the money.
Amended, also ordered. Council Fazolo.
Ain't that the truth?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Through you, in the last week or so, we've had a few snowstorms, and
Oh, God damn it.
I've received phone calls
I
from
cannot
many constituents regarding
bear to listen to
snow
this.
removal and ice and sanding and salting of their streets. And this weekend, it
Shut up.
increased, several calls this weekend. So with that, I would ask the city manager.
If you're not going to fund the
Commissioner
DPW, I
of
don't want to
Public
hear it.
Works to provide city council with a report concerning the department's performance during this past weekend, January 17th and 18th, 2026 snow events, including but not limited to, 1, why pre-treatment of roads did not occur, 2, the timing of the start of snow operations, 3, the sufficiency of the number of snow equipment operators, and 4, the sufficiency of the number of pieces of equipment. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so I'll go on. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Oh, I'm sorry, Council Economou.
If I could just ask on that item, and then I'd like to comment, if I may. Ask for a friendly amendment to even just.
What is the story of Sarai and her husband? I know
Calls from police, fire,
of
and EMS.
stories, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Sanding services or plowing services, especially this past Saturday.
Weren't there some fraud allegations or something that came up recently? Or like,
Things seem to
I'm
be
involved in a lot of like
delayed
back debt.
Getting out there, and
I feel like I remember that
see some
there was
streets
always something like
look
that.
right
Oh, they're
down
facing a
to the pavement.
big loss
We got issues.
from
But,
a
I would ask that in
a
the form of a
parishioner.
friendly amendment of my colleague here. In addition, Mr. Chairman, I had the pleasure this morning of being with our, probably the majority of the Snow Force team up at Skyline Drive, Manny Familiar Way, on an educational class on brining. And I can tell you right now,
On an educational class, he's talking about driver retraining.
what we have coming down the pike, and the city manager can certainly elaborate on this, is probably going to be the state-of-the-art system that I think will change the way we handle our snow removal, our salting operations here within the city. I can tell you this. being in that
Interesting.
class
Jessica
this
Reyes
morning
is
for
involved.
3
I'll have
hours,
to look into this.
the men and women of DPW are dedicated. They want the help too. They're
I
the
think
ones
checked
who
out Sarai
on
Rivera in the
Saturday,
last couple of years
Sunday,
of her city council
being
service was
getting
one of my
phone
favorite
calls from their
counselors
inspectors or
overall.
their superiors, "I need you to run up
She was
here. I
just
need you to run
zooming
up here."
in
They wanna
from
be able to
a
do
different
a
vacation,
superior job, as we all
every
want them
single
to do
meeting.
as well. And I can tell you the commitment from
Fucking
the
posting feet pics on
staff
Maine.
there,
remember
Commissioner
the
Westerling,
feet pics?
I feel like
was
that,
there
that
as
was
well,
a storyline
and I
that
feel in the
never-
next week
never
or two,
finished off for us. That-
maybe 3 weeks,
there's
we're
left
going
hanging
to
out
see
there.
some tremendous impacts.
So
Thank you.
Thank you.
So where did
I
Jessica's
know the
husband
hour's
call
late,
out
so
Sarai? Was this on
I'll
Facebook?
Try to wind this up, but I felt compelled to add a few comments on the last topic, which is snow and ice treatment.
Of course, Mo
snow
has something to
removal.
say about snow and ice.
It's no secret the last few years I've been particularly inquisitive about what's happening.
Yeah,
in
no, but
DPW.
you haven't, Mo.
One of the things
Shut
that
up.
concerns me most, when I hear comments from my colleagues, and I certainly had some calls, not as many as the district councils, I'm sure. I do follow social media and saw a number of people that had difficulties this weekend, and my own street is a hill, quite treacherous at times, and I noticed that I certainly don't expect to get treated any differently than anyone else.
Yes,
that
you do.
The
Shut
snow
up.
removal and the ice treatment comes very late, doesn't seem to come when it's needed, it seems to come almost after the fact. What concerns me most about all of that, and that's why I'm rising, is that we've had it pretty good as far as Mother Nature. Last weekend, we had maybe 2-3 inches on Saturday, maybe 4 inches on Sunday. There's some talk, and it may go out to sea, of a pretty significant storm coming this weekend, but whether that happens or not, we're due for a pretty big storm one of these days. And if we're not doing well with 2 and 3 inches, I can't imagine what we're gonna do with a foot plus. I have reached the point, maybe this point happened a few years ago.
Yeah,
where
Steve Quist is a
can't
real
accept
wonderkind
excuses. I
investigator.
hear them all the time, can't do
I'll get
this,
to the bottom
can't
of
do
it.
that, this, and that, and the other thing. I was here, and some of my colleagues were here too, when we increased the snow removal budget. I think we went from
The Telegram had a
we
story?
added-
Yeah,
I think
usually.
we went from 4.2 million, I could be off a little bit, to $6 million. Had a lot of constituents say, "Oh, I expect the snow removal and the ice treatment to be really good now that we increased it by that much." Well, since that time, the storms haven't gotten worse. They've probably gotten better.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, the service in treating the ice and removing the snow is
Listening to
not
Bergman
downhill.
talk makes me
And
want
I
to go to
just
sleep.
can't explain. I can't make excuses for
Yep.
it. And when I hear somebody from Edward Street
You're
that spoke
you're
earlier
experiencing the
talk about his
late in the
street,
show
what
struggle.
really, really drives me over the edge is
Yeah.
that his street
Plus,
isn't
I'm just
getting
like,
done well.
I'm honestly
We've
not
got
really a night owl.
supervisors and inspectors.
You know,
Double layers of
like
people
this is
getting
probably
paid
around the
to make
time I
sure
would
that
be
Edward
conked
Street
out by
and
now.
other streets like that are getting done well. And we've got 3 layers of something not going right. And I just can't justify to constituents how we're spending money for the snowplow operators, the inspectors, and the supervisors, and we still can't get it right. I just can't explain it to them. I'm going to not explain it to them in the way of making excuses anymore. The explanation I'm going to give them is that I'm going to bring it up, like I expect my colleagues to, till we get it right, because there's no reason why we went from that $4.8 million to $6 million, and we've gotten worse, not better.
That is, with inflation,
Mr. Chairman,
probably less money.
We've been at this for a long time with regards to the snow. I just wanted to ask the city manager for some clarification regarding the snow operations. As it's been presented, it was stated that they haven't been brining, et cetera. Can there be some clarification from the administration on some of the comments that were made tonight on behalf of so that the public can be informed?
Oh yeah, Andrew, you can leave whenever you want to.
Yeah, through the chair to the council.
Yeah, it's not that I want to leave. It's just getting harder to like, stay awake through all this.
We wouldn't take it personally, and I would be actually very jealous.
And it
All right.
provides that material onto the road, and you see kind of some lines, some stripes.
Besides, if I want to sleep so bad,
Pre-treat our roads.
I brought a pillow.
Salt in our roads. We haven't. There's been differences of opinions.
Now that's a stream I would watch.
At the
Andrew Marsh sleeps.
At DPW, and that's something that we're addressing right now. Also, the equipment was outdated, and so we've purchased a brand new equipment, state-of-the-art equipment, probably one of the best out there, particularly for Bryan. And so we're going to be putting that forward. We purchased it already. Our hope is to get that live and going. Right now, all the staff is going through the training. That's what the counselor earlier alluded to. All the members of DPW that operate and are involved in the operation.
Wow, Cameron, that's a really nice backhanded compliment you just gave Andrew. That's great.
For this upcoming storm that we're anticipating perhaps this weekend. But again, this is something that we have tried to manage and address because again,
it's not a backhanded compliment.
We haven't
It's
been
not
using that in
backhanded
the
for
past
Andrew.
couple of years. But that doesn't mean we haven't been.
It's getting two
pre-treating our
birds
roads.
stoned at
Our roads
once.
have been pre-treated, and we spend a significant amount of time pre-treating, and so that's important to notice or to confirm.
But Cambridge is right. I am less homicidal and suicidal in your presence, Andrew.
Brine in itself, when you
Thank
talk
you.
about the solution of brine, is simply water and salt
Yeah.
mixed
You
together.
think my presence tonight
no
in this
magic
stream
about what brine
will get
is.
mentioned in either your next
Water,
newsletter or during your
that
outdoor
goes
cats
into the streets,
podcast?
that provides
Yeah,
a little bit
absolutely,
of
brother.
pre-treatment. But we do pre-treat our roads with salt.
That's
I think one of the challenges, and I've been very frank.
that's
and
a
open about
given.
that in the
That's a given,
discussions
my
here,
friend.
When we talk about the overall DPW challenges, has been staffing.
In fact, I might have to
Staffing
pull
is
the
number one
clip of you
issue
saying that
when
right
it
there and
comes to
open the next
operations,
episode with.
not just in the city, but across the state. You look at Mass DOT, you will look at any other community. Staffing becomes the number one issue in terms of capacity. Having the number of staff to be able to operate the number of equipment, having the right number of contractors. We're losing contractors. Not that the city is losing contractors in terms that they don't want to work with us. Losing contractors in the sense that they're no more longer in operations. They've chosen to leave the snowplowing biz industry in its entirety. So we've come to this council floor.
Snowplowing biz industry.
In providing some suggestions and recommendations of increasing the.
If I ever need a front
stipend,
company, that's what I'm going
for
to
the
call it.
snowplow operation,
Biz Industries.
because that's been a challenge. We try to increase some overtime opportunities for our union labor force to be able to have access
Or
and
call back to
do that,
one of my favorite
as
Andrew
well,
Marsh
because we're being
jokes,
called
Bill's
at midnight at
Subs.
all hours of the day, 24 hours, 36 hours of operating. We're doing that in a very comprehensive way. The last, I believe, budget, if not the last two budgets, we recommended to shift the $6 million. We actually reduced the budget to 5.5 because over the past 5 to 10 year span, we saw that we were not spending the $6 million overall. And that was something that was communicated here in this council body during the budget sessions. And so we reduced it to 5.5 million. In an additional $500,000, we put it for capital expenditures for more equipment. So the $6 million is being used, but 5.5 is for operations and 500,000 is for capital, so that we can continue to buy more equipment. We've purchased over 10 pieces of equipment in the last year. So we're doing everything we can. We're bringing new trainers. Like I said, this training is happening. This person goes all statewide and nationwide to provide these trainings. We're doing a little bit of everything. Yes, sometimes the conditions and what's happening on the road is a problem, and we acknowledge that. We hope that this brine pretreatment is going to provide better management of the pavement as we move forward. But we also acknowledge, and I haven't shied away from this, that we also have a capacity issue when it comes to not only the staffing to operate it, but also staff willing to do the overtime hours. Staff willing to do overtime. And that's sometimes a challenge as well. And that's something that, again, we're working with our labor partners to incentivize or find ways that we can get.
So
our
in
staff
2
to be
days, I'm going to
working
be
on,
at that
these hours of
Columbus
operation.
Park neighborhood meeting that's at
for that.
Stearns
Sorry for that
Tavern.
long-winded
No,
answer.
it's necessary for the public, and I'll just, Mr. Chairman, make a motion that we get the proper stakeholders so they can speak to the strategy of snow operations.
Yeah, I need to start going to a couple of those for
the appropriate committee, Public Works.
for a story I've been working on
discussion,
for the past like month or so.
So that committee can take it up, and there can be some transparency, because I think, because of this order by Councilor Frizzolo, we've educated.
If you hear them talking about
Maybe
how they
we
need
get
to
a
get
little bit
rid
of
of
patience, maybe not, because
homeless
Councilor Bergman
people
said,
in any
we've been
particular place.
increasing the fees and the rates
That's
of
something to make a
buying
special
equipment,
note
et
of.
cetera, for some time.
Yeah.
Because I think that the neighborhood
the more
meetings
transparent we
and
can
the
be,
choice of encampments to sweep
they can speak to
are
operations and where they
very
focus on
much
first,
linked.
in terms of priority would be helpful for the public consumption. Thank you.
Oh yeah, I think they mentioned like during
Yes, the city manager
like during
already
the
answered
crime
question.
stats,
I will also like to sign on.
stuff about
in the
like
last and, like,
recent
days
homelessness
of the last
encampments.
storm, 'cause I had a lot of
They
people
do
want
that. They do
complaints
updates on where
and a
there are
lot of
homeless encampments.
residents calling and needed issues, but in the
Yeah.
last storm.
Okay.
only
I still haven't
moved
read
in the
the
right
minutes.
direction.
The minutes you sent me.
I'm hoping.
But it's on my list.
Yeah.
Just quickly before,
Yeah.
I think it's important
Yeah,
to notice.
well, they're less
one,
minutes
I wanna
and more
acknowledge
just
the
like
general of the
very
public.
rough notes
Literally
of
sometimes
like
36 hours
of like
nonstop
things that like stuck out.
Yeah.
We've done a great job thus far this year.
I don't know why I
with
said
our
minutes.
main arterials.
It's all right.
Over this past week, I remember driving into the main road, and I was like, wow, this looks great.
Words
But
become
the
hard.
side
You
roads
know what I
have
mean?
always been a problem.
Yeah, like I said,
The department
I used to
acknowledges that as well.
be on a
They
local
know-
cultural
acknowledge it,
council,
and they're
so
trying to
like
come up
I
with solutions
am
to do that.
certainly
One is
aware
capacity, two is
like
to try
what
to introduce
minutes
this
are.
Bryan system that we just
Because
acquired.
like
Yeah, I wasn't
just
saying-
like
I
during
wasn't-
each meeting we had to approve the minutes for the last
They
one.
acknowledge that, they know that.
Yeah.
We talked about it today in our training, that the counselor was there, myself.
My
was there
ass
as well.
is going, why do they call these
so
minutes? They should be
there's
called
better outcomes,
hours.
better solutions,
Fucking-
to address, but we acknowledge
These things
that we
are
know that
long,
we can do
dude.
better when it comes to our side streets.
Ooh, Maine South Mom says, I'm pretty sure we hit a time warp and are watching a 2015 city council meeting.
Adjourn. All those in favor? Opposed?
Yeah,
So party.
kind of does feel like that, doesn't it? Kind of does feel like any progress made over the past 10 years has been irrevocably reversed.
Yeah. Yeah. Did they adjourn?
Yeah, they did.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Made
Congratulations. You got your city council back. You can go on doing fuck all bullshit. And put on a nice little show for the senior center for the rest of days. Mission accomplished.
Yep. Well, that was kind of fun in its own way.
Thank you for saying so, Andrew. I feel the same. You made it a lot more fun for me. So I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Consider it a standing invitation. You can come on whenever you'd like.
Oh yeah. Yep. I imagine if I'm not planning on actually giving public commentary, I'll probably prefer to observe city council meetings through this as opposed to actually sitting in city hall.
Yeah. Well, all right, but you gotta still give public comment because you have those one-liners that are pretty necessary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just like this past meeting, the agenda didn't really have anything that really stuck out to me that I really wanted to talk about.
Yeah, me either. When I was writing my post the other day, I was like, I don't find anything on here really worth talking about, except for Satya Mitra Smart Goals Initiative, which put, homeless encampment sweeps and filling potholes in the same category.
Yeah. George Seption, I'm not usually in the chat, although I will admit that after I give my public comment and go home, after I get home, sometimes I'll like check out like the I'll check out the Twitch recording just to like see what people are saying when I'm speaking.
That's sick. It's usually the highlight of the meeting for us, so I'm glad that you do that. Andrew, what's a piece of media people should watch, or you already said you don't listen to music. What should people check out? What should people read or watch?
It's not going anymore, but like I remember when it was still airing, I was a big fan of Adam Ruins Everything.
Adam Ruins Everything. So, it sounds familiar, but I don't can't picture it in my brain. So I will
it was an informational comedy on, I think it was TBS was the network it was on. And like it was headed by a comedian named Adam Conover.
Okay, cool.
He has a YouTube version now that has taken a hard political bent, but it's he still is.
Let me guess which bent.
You might guess wrong. He's pretty left. I mean.
Oh, okay, cool.
I would say like, man, I don't want to say apolitically left. It's like, it's not intellectually left. It's not academically left.
Gotcha. Well, that's good. No one should be that. Don't ever read a book.
No, I don't mean. I just mean it's not like, you're not getting drowned out in like a treatise on every thought. It's
right.
Talking of the administration.
He's not talking about frickin' angles.
Yeah.
The dialectic.
There's no dialectic going on. Just more of a rant, a leftist rant.
I love the dialectic. I love the way that people use that. I love that everyone knows exactly what it means and everyone says it right and uses it right. It's great. But I think that it's time for us to wrap up, gentlemen. Andrew Marsh, everybody. Give it up for Andrew in the chat. First time, best person we've had on the show, except for everyone else that we've had on the show who might be watching. And remember that you actually were the best person that we had on the show. But Andrew Marsh, best person we've ever had on the show. This was a delight. You cracked me up all night. Thank you so much for coming in. There are other things that we typically say at the end of these programs. But have a good night, everyone. And we'll be back here next Tuesday. And hopefully Andrew will be as well. We'll see.
Yep. It all depends on what's on the agenda and whether I feel and whether I feel compelled to tell the council off about it.
So whether you go to the council or you come here, bring a pillow, bring a book, and we'll be waiting for you.
That's right. That's right.
Yep.
Gary Brosen. We'll watch Gary Brosen together.
Yep. I got plenty of manga to keep myself occupied while some of the less desirable polys go blah 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 blah.
Perfect note to end on. 3, 2, 1. See you later.